Look how shiny my face is.
Hey, everybody. Good evening. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot of people here. I'm going to try to get some hellos in here real quick and try to catch up. So, Half Bubble Off Plum, the greatest name on the internet. Good evening, Johnny. Good evening. Who else we got here? Silver Thread. Hello, hello. Spags. What's up, buddy? Hey, any of you guys who haven't been over to Spags Unfiltered, you ought to go over there. You know, Spags is a little more wild and crazy than I am, but he speaks the truth, and so I enjoy it. Jules, good evening. Rick, hey, bud. What else we got down here? Hippocrates, hello, hello. And I wish she was making me tiramisu. That'd be an amazing thing. No? Drummondson Live, hello. Trying to get through these here real quick. Terminator, hello. Mary Michelle, hello. EZ, good evening to you as well. Glenn, good evening. Grateful Hearts, good evening. Hey, thank you. Actually, I was going to talk about that a little bit tonight, Grateful Hearts. Richard, hello. Deborah, hello. JB, good evening to you as well. Big Kid, hello. And I think I'm all caught up. Pretty cool. What would you think?
About what?
Anything.
Did I come in late?
No, yeah, well, it was actually pretty close.
I know.
You see, Terminator said, B, I love your quick videos, your wood cooking stuff.
Oh, yes. Good.
She gets a lot of traction on it. There's a lot of people who like those. I think it's kind of silly personally, but hey, well, you know what? She loves it. I love it. Songs of Joy. Good evening, Mrs. Hacks. Hello. Yaya. What is going on? Hills Mill. Hello. Good evening. Tia. Hello. I'm actually going to talk about you tonight. Hope you can stick around, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on, Tia, and the generous offer that you made, and I really appreciate it. So I'll pass it along to everybody. Gypsy, hello. We actually just talked to Gypsy. I did yesterday. Miley, hello. I think I'm caught up. So a couple things, laundry items real quick, guys, that I wanted to tell you guys about. D. Marie, hello. Indiana, ahoy to you as well. I'm going to talk about you a little bit tonight too. Yep. But they just keep coming. Anyway, I wanted to let you guys know that I have started another YouTube channel called Ungovernable. And I haven't posted a single video yet. I will. But I did it for a whole bunch of reasons. One, because as you guys notice, my channel's kind of, we go into homesteading, and then on the other side, I do my, ungovernable stuff. And I want to make sure that I have an alternative in case, the hammer drops. And so I'm going to work on that just a little bit. Chris White, hello. I'm glad you're driving and listening safe. Yep. Glenn and Elizabeth, hello. Bonnie, hello. Yep. UGS. I actually have the UGS spags on my list to talk about tonight. Johnny says ungovernable sounds right up my alley. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm going to try to push the envelope a little bit and create a channel that if it gets shut down, I'm not really out anything. I'll just pop one up the next day that's, called Ungoverned or something, So anyway, I'm going to work on that. But for any of you guys that are interested, the channel's live. You can go over to it. I just haven't put anything in it yet. Amelia, hello. Steel Roz, hello. Okay, so next item. So we had some pretty cool stuff. Jonathan, good evening, my friend. He says return of the ungovernable. Yep, for sure. Okay, so real quick, so we had one of the families who is moving to our area close on their homestead this last week. And so they came down, and we got to spend a bunch of time with them, and it was really, really cool. We had a great time, and they got to do a little bit of work on their brand new homestead. And I know it's a zoo for you guys right now, and I know you're listening, but hey, it will be all worth it shortly. And you've got a big community around you here that will help any way that we can. And so I just wanted to tell you guys I'm proud of you, and big congratulations. And it was an incredible leap of faith on your guys' part, and took a whole bunch of courage, but you're doing the right thing. And you are 100% welcomed into this community. And I can't wait to see what happens. It was actually interesting to me. We were sitting down at the kitchen table, and we were talking about group purchases. So what we were actually talking about was like buying an excavator, for example. And then we started just kind of diving into it a little bit. So if 10 people buy an excavator, how do you handle the maintenance? And if it breaks on their watch, do they have to fix it? Well, what if it was just a maintenance item? And how is the maintenance, taken care of? And how do we pay for the maintenance? And then if there's another homestead that wants to buy into the purchase, how do they buy into the purchase? And how do we make it fair? And so it was just a super deep, wonderful conversation. And I can't wait to see, kind of what comes from it.
I think there's a lot of options there.
Yeah. Jonathan says Return of the Ungovernable and the Ungovernable Strikes Back. Yeah. See, these are all great names for when they shut it down. Yeah. Bags. RN, hello. Yeah. Half Bubble Off Plum. Yeah. Congrats to them. Yep. Rick says, I am ungovernable. Yeah. I think we all need to practice that peaceful civil disobedience and practice being ungovernable. How did last night go? I was busy and went to bed early. I'm assuming you're talking. I had two things that went on last night, Jonathan. So I did a podcast with somebody, but I'm assuming you're talking about the Zoom call. So I was only on it about 45 minutes, but it was great when I was there. I love those Zoom calls, you guys. For anybody who hasn't been on them, you guys should really get on Freesteading. And right before 7:00 on Thursdays, the link is posted. Follow the link, you get into a Zoom meeting, and it's crazy. We talked a lot with Gypsy about their barn and about their wallopini, and showed some pictures. And it's just it's a great environment where I don't have to do all the talking, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I get to just share these experiences by all these just absolutely amazing people. And so it was really, really cool. Eagle Lover, hello.
And you get to put a face to a name.
Yeah. Yeah. Hippocrates says Harvest Right just put out an extra large dehydrator, twice the capacity of their large, without being twice the price. Yeah. Hippocrates. So we were talking to Gypsy on the Zoom last night, and they live off grid like I live off grid. And so off grid's really hard because you'd have to stop the cycle in the middle of the night, or you'd have to have a battery bank so big that it could run that big power, all the way through. And Gypsy was talking about maybe having a solution to that. And so I'm really excited about the possibilities of this, because I'd love to get one, but I just don't think I can run it. Jules said, I tried to find the Ungovernable page on ScrewTube so I could post a link. Found two other ones, but not yours, Tag. All right, I'll see if I can post a link on here at some point in time tonight, because let me see here. Because I started it. Maybe I didn't publish it. Let me look here. Search count.
It's capital UN.
Yeah, I'm going to try to, let me see right here. All right, here we go. All right, I just posted a link. Just show me where the dipstick is. I'll take care of it. Oh my goodness, it's going by fast. If I missed somebody, I'm sorry, guys. See, I was reminded about the Zoom last night, Tag, but with my internet, I can't do contortionate acrobatics to try to make it work. Yeah. Hey, Skanes Girl. Hello. Good evening to you. Skanes Girl, when we were on the Zoom last night, and I'm not going to get into too many details because just OPSEC reasons, but she was showing some of the stuff that she's doing, and it was super impressive. His return says yearly charge for maintenance if you can figure out how many hours you have to do maintenance. Yeah, that actually came up, his return, a little bit about how, maybe paying in a little bit each year or whatever it is, or maybe using when another homestead wants to buy in, maybe using part of that money to go towards the maintenance. How goes the build on the big dehydrator, Tag? Yeah, good. I haven't worked on it once the weather changed. It's out in my shop, and I've got the box for it built. I don't have the runs, that collect the heat built yet, but I'll get on it in the spring. Last year, I just couldn't get it done in time for B to do her harvesting, but I will. Pack Rat, good evening, says, I was off at the local libertarian gathering last night. Oops, right by me. Hold on. Last night, but I'd be game to hop on one of those. Hi, everybody. Yeah, you should absolutely hop on, you guys. I'm telling you, those Zooms are so much fun.
Are they recorded?
I don't think they're recorded. Hippocrates, do you record them? Because that'd be interesting. That'd be good to, post on a Freesteading channel or something else, which we could certainly do. Steel Raw says older model excavators have a lot of grease fittings in hard to reach spots, so be prepared to grease in your hair, under your shirt, and your pants. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Skins Girl and I shared pantries last night. Yep. I'm glad you said it, because I wasn't going to say it, but let me see here. Terminator, I'm back. My phone is going crazy. It's trying to type for me. Well, that's cool. Let it type for you. It'd be interesting what we read. See, Nowhere Homesteading. Hey, good evening, bud. What's going on? Big Kid says, tag, wanted to let you know I'm making decent progress on the thermoelectric generator project. It looks like a very viable option for us off-gridders with access to firewood. Yeah, I'm super interested. Okay, Jules says that goes to my Life Done Free page. How does that go to my
It
Life
says
Done?
Ungovernable 142. Does that?
No, but the channel is ungovernable. Here, let me let's try it this way. Copy. Here you go, Jules. I'm going to paste something for you. Maybe you can find it that way. That's how it's spelled, the channel. Let me see. Sorry, where would I leave off at? One Step Closer is here. Good evening, everyone. Hey, real quick, I wanted to talk about him a little bit. So we've been working on this ungovernable score calculator, and guys, One Step Closer is really the brains behind the whole thing. And I know in my head what I want it to be.
Yes.
Like I can see it. And by the way, One Step Closer, I think we need to add a front page to it. You know how in the calculator there's 10 categories, let's just say. And if we put a page in the front of it that listed all 10 categories, let's say there's 10, and allowed people to put a top score of up to 1,000, right? 100 in each, or maybe 90 in one and 50 in the other, but for a total score of, let's say, 1,000, and then had those numbers automatically go into the beginning of each of those categories, I think it would make it a lot easier for people to navigate it. But I'd love to hear what you think. Dee Marie says, I'm number 3 on the subs list of my new channel. Cool. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, guys, I'm going to start posting stuff in there. Like I said, I just put it up. I didn't do anything with it yet, but I will. Oh my goodness. Hey, Starla, how are you? Hey, I got you. Did you email her back, by the way? Starla?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Well, I emailed her once.
Okay, so Starla, B did email you. By the way, Starla, the tag and B at Life Done Free, B gets it too. Mm-hmm. So it goes to B and me.
I just don't typically look at it.
So if that's it, please don't record Zoom meetings. Yeah, actually, that's a great point, Silver Thread. If people don't want to do it, then let's not do it. I would much rather people be comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't see the lives in the freesteading events page this month. The lives you're talking about, like
our live?
Our live. Yeah. Which live are you talking about? And I'll go in there. I'll go in there and dig on it a little bit and see what you're talking about. Hey, Zeus. Hello. How are you? Got just time to sub to the new channel. Yeah, cool.
They're not on there.
What do you mean? I put it on there. It is not on there. Weird. Okay.
Maybe you didn't click through. You didn't follow through.
Yeah, maybe not. Hard to say. All right, I'll work on that. Oh, I needed to figure out how to do the closed captioning, by the way. Does anybody know how to turn the closed captioning stuff on these streams?
I thought you had to do that individually. I have to do it on my...
I had someone just reach out to me and ask me if I could turn them on. No. All right, I have no idea where I'm at. Starla says, what kind of tree is best for a north windbreak and for security? Well, in my area, I would put a cedar tree.
They're fast growing too.
Eastern red cedar, fast growing, stays green all year long, great windbreak. That's what most people use around here. One Step Closer says, tag sounds good. I can have it back to you Monday since I'm pretty busy this weekend. Hey, no rush, One Step. You have done an immense amount of work, and it's quality work. And all I can tell you is, thank you. So you take whatever time you need to take. Potpourri of Life. Hello, how are you? I'm actually going to talk about you a little bit later today. At the live. Skanes Girl says, I'm listening, getting third round of sweet potatoes going in the canner. Yeah, you've turned into a canning machine, haven't you? This one, Friday's empty. Yeah, I see that. I don't know why I didn't get it in there. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. Oh my goodness. Terminator says it's going to feel like minus 29 tonight where she's at.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's cold.
Yeah. Dee Marie says CC. What am I missing?
Closed caption.
Oh yeah, closed caption. I don't see it, and I want to turn it on if I can, because like I said, I had somebody who asked me about it, but I don't know how to turn it on, unless I have to turn it on before I do it, maybe. Let me see here. We discuss a lot of personal stuff on Zoom and talk openly about topics to discuss. OPSEC will be compromised. Yep, deal. No problem. I didn't mean to overstep that, Eagle Lover, and I certainly just want, everybody to be comfortable, so.
Yeah.
DeMarie says pine in northern Minnesota for a snow break, double staggered row for the driveway's great. Yep. Blockchain, how are you, bud? Those good wood cooking videos are making my mouth water. Sweet stuff, B. You like those cookies, Tag? Yeah, I actually ate like 4 or 5 of them yesterday for bed.
For bed.
Yeah, I like my milk and cookies at bed. Yeah. BRB got a little help for a quick project right this minute.
Be right back.
Yep. Okay, cool. Jonathan, 2 gallons of kombucha going, dishes washed, time to relax. Yeah. I was given pig hides with the fat on them. I've been rendering lard for 2 days and I've got almost 20 jars so far. Oh man, how awesome. Yep. Let me see. Noah Homestead, he said, I'm making more cookies right now and we'll be getting more canning done this weekend as well. Yeah, you guys are rock stars. Each person must do it. Bottom right screen. Okay, so I can't do it is what Johnny's saying. So they must have to do it. Let me see.
That's D. Marie said that.
Yeah.
Bottom right.
Yeah, well, I clicked. I thought maybe it was that. What's that one? No. Okay.
Nope.
All right, no worries. I'll make sure I tell them that they have to do it. Amelia says you need to release the closed caption on your side, and then folks who use them can use them on their side, even if you go, where'd it go? Even if you go after the live, they can't be used if not on. Okay. So what I have to do is figure out how to turn it on.
What are those up there? These.
Yeah, I did all that. So that's the.
You don't have access to this feature.
Yeah, I don't know what all that is, but see, like I looked at them, right? Pop out dashboard feedback. I don't know how to do it. All right. Anyway, okay, where are we at here? So what kind of cookies were they, B?
They were sugar cookies with the blueberry butter. They were like the thumbprint cookies.
Yeah, they were really good.
We were gifted some blueberry butter, and that was the last of it.
Miley says, what is a good health insurance for homesteaders? Yeah, so we participate in a where we live in our neighborhood.
What kind of insurances are they?
She said health.
Oh, okay.
So Miley, and where we live, we are very, very fortunate here that I mean, I've got a constitutional sheriff. I've got, all this really good stuff. But one of those things is we have a health share deal where there's a couple little hospitals here that don't take any insurance.
It's direct care.
It's called direct care. And so you pay a fee like me and B, like $175 a month or something like that. And they take care of all your basic needs. But there's also some other stuff out there like Liberty Health Share and some of those things. But if you could ever get a community big enough, I think you could put enough money away to cover health insurance, but we'll have to see. But guys, if I missed something, I am sorry, but it just scrolls so fast. I can't get it. Tia had mentioned, I'd seen it right before I'd clicked over and it's gone now. If I got the press kit and I said that I had. Watch the Toolman interview. His return says, great. Lots of info and ideas. Yes. Let's talk about that. So yeah, last night I did the podcast with Toolman Tim, and it was actually kind of different for me a little bit because, I've done a lot of them where people wanted to know, my story, my history, and then other ones that wanted to know what we do for homesteading. And this one kind of did it all.
Yeah. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah. He was really good at, at asking questions and doing those things. Grumpy Acres. Hey, how are you, bud? If I missed somebody, I'm sorry. Tia says, send out press kit for next steps to you, Tag, so you can share. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this a little bit tonight, Tia. Let me see here where we at. Wonder if we could get a recipe for blueberry butter banana pastries.
That was the
banana pastries were really good.
So it's like apple butter, but she used blueberries instead. It was a gift for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how she did it. It was had to be refrigerated because she did not can it. So we were gifted one jar, and then I just made I cut up a banana and stuck that on there and rolled it up and baked it.
Oh, Packrat says, it's my understanding that YouTube closed caption does not completely process until later. YouTube's auto captions are not real time on the video uploads to work. Ugh. Paparie says that was a great interview with Toolman Tim. Yeah, I had a good time. Hey,
I thought it was a really good one.
LJC came in. Hey, how are you, neighbor? Let me see. The tool guy and you was so knowledgeable. Yeah, it was good. I had a really good time with him, and he's a good interviewer.
Yeah.
Which helps a whole lot. Yep. Dana Green says wood cooking.
Yeah.
If you do a private contract thing with the doctor, check it very carefully. Our doctor wouldn't fill our paperwork or pass records on when requested, from Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty good advice. We, like I said, we're really lucky here. I mean, I can pick up the phone right now and call him and say, hey, I need some antibiotics. And he'll ask me a couple questions and send in a prescription.
Well, he gives us the prescription.
Right. Randy, hello.
They have their own pharmacy.
Yep. Circle D, hello. Okay, I think we got through all that. So let's talk about, we talked about Toolman Tim. Let's talk about the Next Step conference real quick. Hey, Deep South, how are you? Wanda and Danny. So as I mentioned many times before, guys, I am speaking at the Next Step convention in Georgia at the end of February. And the link's been put in here, but if a mod wants to put the link back in here, that'd be helpful. Put it in here. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. This is probably one of them that I am probably the most excited to go. And I'll tell you why. And it's because the whole process is about creating that counter society. And whether that's from, economics or health or your food systems, becoming a journalist, a citizen journalist, and escaping the technocratic state. And, there's a day and workshops on prepping and, self-defense and homesteading. And then also a whole bunch of doctors coming in to talk about health. And so it's a bunch of workshops. It's not going to be like your traditional, like festivals that we typically go to, where you got some speakers and you walk around and those kind of things. These are workshops. And so I'll tell you guys, Tia, who's in here tonight, she had said to me that, asked if she could offer the freesteading community a discount. And so if you guys go to that website, and again, one of the mods, I'd appreciate if you guys would put a link in here, but and put in freesteading, it gives you a 10% discount. But I would love to see anybody down there, anybody that's going. And if you're going, let me know. And if I can swing it, we'll, have dinner or, hang out a little bit and breakfast in the morning or coffee or, something like that. When I went to the Self-Reliance Festival, I haven't seen her in here tonight, but I had breakfast with Mandy Garrett and it was great. Had a great time. I see Deborah. Hello. Elizabeth. Hello. Chunky Applesauce is here. Hey, bud. Yep. Tabletop's here. Yeah, that's another really, really, really great place to do business with is Tabletop Farms. They sell amazing produce, and we always joke about their turnips, but they are really that good.
They are really that good.
They are really that good. And, Tabletop, feel free to put a link at your guys' website in here. I do business with them, so I would encourage everybody to do it too. Let me see here. Did I miss anything? Yeah, no, I think I'm caught up. So anyway, back to the convention. I am, as I mentioned, super excited to do this. It's because it hits me right at my heart. I believe we as a people have got to take a stand, and we have to start taking our productivity somewhere else, and out of the system, and find a way to do business together and find a way to create that counter economy. And I'm going as much to learn as I am to speak.
Yeah. Because
there's some amazing people who are going to be talking. Derek Bros, who's an activist and, one of the founders of the Freedom Cell Network. I will share a stage with him. And, he's a, super interesting story. Younger guy, ran for mayor down in Texas. Just a really, really cool story. A lot overcame a bunch of tribulation, and has been successful. Now they're building the same kind of community like we've built up here, but they're doing it in Mexico. But it'll be real interesting to hear his story. Okay, so what's it called again? And I will find it and post a link. Yeah, so nextstep.info is the website. And if you Google Next Step Conference, Georgia, it will probably come up. Yeah, thank you, Tabletop, for that. That link, guys, is right in there, and you guys can buy all kinds of stuff from them. And guys, here's the thing. These people are fighting freedom. I mean, and if you go to Tabletop Farms YouTube channel or you get on any of their lives, they're preaching the same message that a lot of us are preaching. So I want my money to go there, so I would really encourage you guys to do that. Let me see. Cletus says Derek Bros, aka The Conscious Resistance. Yes, he has a website, The Conscious Resistance. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to go into this event. And I think it gives us in all of our communities, you know, and if you belong to a community, send somebody, because we get a chance to learn from all of these people and work together, right? Because it's a workshop, and I'm hoping to learn a ton too.
Yeah. Dr. McCullough's will be there.
Yep. Dr. Cole will be there. And I think it just gives us a great opportunity. And like I said, I'm just as excited about learning as I am going. Tabletop says they're looking at going to the event. You should, bud. You absolutely should. And it's going to be a little bit different because it's really not prepper heavy or homesteader heavy, although there are those events. It's really about the conscious resistance and, you know, that peaceful civil disobedience. And that, you know, we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
You know, so let me see. Terminator said, I've been checking out the videos at Tabletop Farms and love them. Yeah, me too. You know, I met them at the Self-Reliance Festival in Tennessee, and we kind of just turned into friends, and it's been, you know, really neat. And they've been a blessing to our community. You know, they're a little further away, but they're involved. And I'm actually going to their community. When am I going? Beginning of February?
February.
Beginning of February, I'm going to drive over to their community and talk a little bit about freedom and you know, the things that we do and community and those kind of things. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm glad that they
maybe bring back some food.
Yeah, maybe bring back some turnips. Yeah, I bet you could. I don't know if they have them right now, but I wonder, hey, if Elisa would let us put an order in for turnips. And
some lettuce.
Yeah, Grumpy Acres says, I've never seen that website. Maybe that's it. Well, I'm going to click on it, make sure that's the right one. Oops.
That is not the right one.
Yeah, that's not the right one. G. Here, I'll let me put one in here real quick. Right there.
There you go.
Okay, I'm copying it right now. Copy. Here we go. Paste. All right, there it is right there, guys. And check it out. Like I said, it's you know, if you're involved in a community, I think this is a critical place to be. And so I'm going to go. And again, I can't wait to learn. Tabletop wants to know if we want any butternut squash. No.
I saw that. I can't get him to eat it.
Yeah.
I made it the other day and I just made some for myself.
Yeah. No, I can eat it and then give me a couple weeks and I'll eat it again. But man, that everyday stuff, it's
not every day.
I just can't do it.
Even if it's once a week, you're still like not going to do it.
Man, it's absolutely not my favorite, you know?
Well, probably because I don't, you know, douse it in sugar.
It's okay. It's just baby food.
It is not baby food. They're chunks.
I know. I haven't tried it hard enough yet. Right?
Maybe I should try to make some cookies out of it or something if it's so baby foodish. Add some flour and make it into a little ball and try to bake it.
Yeah, Tabletop says we can do some trading for sure. Hippocrates says to Tabletop, I've been planning out the community garden. Gonna do the trombacino. I don't even know what that is.
Is that the name of the turnips?
I couldn't tell you.
She told us the turnips before. She told us the kind.
Yeah. You looking it up?
I am.
Okay. Yeah. I wish they would let us share stuff because I would share with this conference. There's like 30 speakers there. Nicole Sauce, who's on Homesteading, will be there. Bobby from Black's Chocolate Homestead will be down there talking on the homesteading day. And so there's several freesteaders that will be there. So I'm pretty excited. Tombacino squash. It survives vine borers very well. Oh, good to know. Purple top turnips. Charles is asking. Charles, I'm telling you, they're the best turnips, but they're not purple top. They're these little.
They're all white.
Look like a white cue ball. And oh my goodness, though. And yeah, man, they're just so good, so good. And you guys, they have a lot of stuff that's good. Like we've eaten spinach and lettuce and turnips. Anything else from them?
Well, it was a mix of greens. It had all kinds of stuff in it.
We ate it all. It was very good.
Radishes.
Yeah. Let me see. DeMarie says, trying Thelma Sanders sweet potato squash this year. I'm so excited. It's that time of year. Too bad Tag couldn't turn your live into a Zoom format. I would love to. I would love to hear from everybody. That would be such a wonderful thing. Maybe we'll do.
I don't know if you can have that many people on Zoom, though, can you?
I can. Baby, you can buy your way to anything. Right? I mean,
don't know.
we could potentially do a Zoom and record it.
Like this?
Like this. I'll look into that. I think that's a great idea. Oh, was Mandy Garrett in here? I didn't see her. Eagle Lover says, hey, Mandy Garrett, been missing you guys. Yeah. Mandy Garrett and them were on quite the journey. Like I said, I had breakfast with them in Tennessee. It was really, really cool. Let me see. Cleta says, I bet butternut squash would make an acceptable substitute for pumpkin or carrots in various pilaf dishes of Uzbekistan to Persian cuisine.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called hakarui.
Yeah, I knew it was something weird.
Yep.
I'm going to write it down.
New Day says she tried rutabaga this week, but loves turnips. Scanes Girl says, Rick, you should share the butternut squash soup recipe. Yeah, thanks, Scanes Girl.
Yes, you should.
Coraline, hello. Yeah, there's Mandy. Yeah. All right, cool. So what else is on the list? We talked about the convention. Later this week, I got 2 interviews coming up. I'm going to do 2 interviews. There's a group out of Indiana who is trying to do kind of what we're doing down here. And so I'm going to have them on the show and do some interviewing with them. And then I'm also going to do an interview with Potpourri for Life, who's here tonight. And so we get to hear from 2 other homesteaders, the way they do it and what's going on in their world. And so I'll have both of them posted next week. Hopefully, if I can get them all, and I don't have a lot of editing to do, hopefully I'll get them both out there right into asterisk that, right?
Yeah.
Because depending on, how that works out. But so those are both coming up. So I'm pretty excited about them. One Step says, I've been trying new squash the past couple of months as we plan the spring garden. Next up is kombucha squash. I didn't even know such a thing existed. RN says, some of my purple top turnips survived the 90-degree cold snap we had in Alabama.
Wow.
The turnips are pretty tough. Maybe do a carrot bisque. How do you say that?
Bisque.
Just bisque?
I think so.
Bisque soup, but substitute the butternut. I've substituted for sweet potatoes. B, make Tag some French fries made with butternut squash.
That he would eat, right?
I would try. I will try anything.
Especially if I told you it was something else. So I think it's just in your head.
Babe, how can it be in my head? I eat it.
Yeah, you don't really eat it, though.
Yeah, I eat it. I just don't eat it a
You
lot.
take a bite and you're like, done. Done.
Miley wants to know what's the price of eggs in our hometown.
I actually just saw when I went to Sam's Club, and they were like $8.90 for an 18-pack.
Yeah. Crazy. That is just absolutely crazy. We don't buy a lot of eggs because we get a lot of eggs, but that is just absolutely crazy. It makes me think, I feel bad for these people who, have, are 5 years into a 30-year mortgage and 2 car payments and,
I can't. There was, like, I sent you a picture of there was chicken that we used to get, the battered chicken that used to be $12, and then it went up to $14, and now it said new lower price $16.98.
Yeah.
New lower price.
One Step Closer says, Tag, try sweet potato fries cooked in rendered brisket fat. Heaven on earth.
Huh.
I bet that would be good. Terminator says squash fries are just like sweet potato fries, and I like sweet potato fries. D. Marie says my town is all over the map, $5.50 to $7 a dozen, but that is still super expensive.
A dozen.
I mean, I remember when you would struggle to sell a dozen eggs for $2.
Oh yeah, they were $1.50.
Yeah, crazy. Coastal Redwood Homestead. Good evening to you.
Yeah, or
I
if
almost
you
missed
can
that
find
one.
them, some people can't even find them. Some stores are just out.
Yeah. RN says eggs were $8.48 for pasteurized, raised 48 count. Dixon, like evening, folks. Caught your last night at Tim's. Just lurking tonight, but looking forward to checking out your channel. Well, the Dixon way, thank you, and I'm super happy you're here, and I'm glad you checked out the interview with Tim. I thought I had a good time. It was interesting, and him and I are going to do some more. I'm going to have him on my channel here pretty quick.
Yeah,
I think. Colleen says eggs are $1 a piece here. Man, ouch. Yeah, Little Red Hen Homestead. Hello, how are you? Yaya. So Yaya at Nowhere Homestead, they're fairly close to us. $8 a dozen and $11 for an 18 pack. Man. So far, duck eggs I got from a local homestead are still $4 a dozen, says Mandy. It's good to know. Let me see here. This past week, we were gifted a whole black Angus. Oh my goodness. And our small group of homesteaders worked together and processed it. Lots of good food and great fellowship.
Wow.
Coraline, good for you. This is starving the beast, guys. This is the counter economy. This is peaceful civil disobedience right here, Coraline, and what you're doing right there. Right? We need to do more and more and more of this. Grumpy says eggs were $7.52 a dozen. Only $3 from the local farmer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my chickens aren't laying right now, but over the summer I froze a lot for the winter. Yeah, good for you.
Yep.
Amelia said my cousins said Costco was $13 a dozen on Thursday. Oh my goodness.
For 1 dozen eggs.
Yeah, Never Alone Homestead said, yeah, hard to sell at $1.50, but now everyone's asking. Yeah, now it's a commodity, right? Yeah, crazy. Yeah, Skanes Girl says, wow, Coraline. Yeah, Coraline, I applaud that. Hey, Porterhouse, what's up, bud? My son said eggs were $8 a dozen. We gave him 48 today. Yeah. Yeah. Hippocrates says, just watching Bitcoin, 16K New Year, 20K now, half a month later. Yeah. That's a risky game to play though, bud. You know, I've played in a lot of that stuff and I don't play in it no more, but
yeah.
Nola Girl says, hi guys. It's been a while. Happy birthday, B. I would be delighted to have you as an honorary member of my NOLA Mardi Gras crew. I don't know what that is, but you interested?
Depends.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. I would be willing to bet that it's a homestead crew of some kind. Yeah. Let me see here.
And thank you.
Yes. Can Squatch says $2.99 a dozen at Natural Grocers in Olathe, limit too.
Wow.
Yeah. Gave the other neighbor lemons, and she's making me a jar of lemon pepper rosemary seasoning. That's a good deal.
Mm.
One Step Closer says we'll sell eggs for Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how many dozens it take to get one. $20 for 60 by me. Yep. Hey, Nola Girl Homestead. They have Mardi Gras up here in Monroe. Coraline says happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, I remember when people just about turned up their nose if you handed them free eggs. Oh, yeah, I remember that too. So, hey, there, since they're wishing you happy birthday, why don't you talk about how all that went?
Yes, I was pleasantly surprised. It was very nice, very heartwarming to see how many people took time out of their days to wish me a happy birthday. And you did a fantastic job with your video. I'm
a stud.
I know. That's why I'm still here. Yes, but you did a really good job. Warms my heart.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
What was your favorite part?
My poem. Mm. Yeah. That was I knew exactly what you were talking about too, because you wrote me that poem. Yep. Many years ago. Yep. And I knew exactly where that was coming from. Yeah. And I love the people at the end. I think that was so nice. They had to have gotten that to you beforehand they had to have known you were doing that ahead of time in order for them to film that and then send them to you in order for you to use those. That was very nice.
So do you suppose, babe, that anything happens on the live when you go down and check the fire? That's how I knew.
Oh, you talked about it when I left the room?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I assume you still talk, but no, I didn't know you. I didn't know that you would have said anything about it or, planned in advance.
Yeah, well,
because that took planning ahead of time in order to get that done.
You know what the hardest part was? Is I had to go through all of our videos and just take sections out of them. I mean, so I worked on that video for 2 months trying to get, because, you got to go. I don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember where the parts are. So I have to go through and watch them and go, oh, I want that piece. I want that piece, But anyway,
It was very nice. Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you to everybody who took time out of their day to wish me happy birthday.
Yeah, let me see. Hey, Hacks, what's up? LJC says, happy birthday, B.
Thank you.
What tag would scheme? No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I love my wife, and you know, she makes my life and the people around her better, and with you know, and that's done on purpose, right? I mean, that takes effort to be able to do those things. So I'm proud of you, and I love you, and I, you know, look forward to the next 10 years if I make it that long, you know.
Oh, you will.
So, you're gonna insure it?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep feeding you squash.
Okay, yeah, no shit, huh? Grateful Heart says, B, it's how he got cinnamon rolls. And actually, there's some truth in that.
Yeah.
Because you go downstairs, and I'm like, all right, guys, look, I really want cinnamon rolls.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't really asked for much lately, except tiramisu and creme brulee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
you could show your appreciation for the poem and all that through one of those sources.
Creme brulee.
Either one.
Because you're not getting tiramisu.
Mandy Garrett says, I saw your young, beautiful picture. You guys looked the same. Just simply beautiful. Yeah, you know, it was Mandy, you want to tell you something that's funny is Indiana Mike, who's in here tonight, him and his bride said, man, you were young. You've aged a lot.
And that picture was like, that wasn't even from...
It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, that was
2018, maybe?
No.
Yeah, that was on the Alaskan cruise, wasn't it?
The Alaskan cruise was 2012.
12?
Yeah. Yes.
Was it? Oh my goodness, I'm getting old.
It was that long ago.
Amelia says, B, at least you didn't do your B day what I did. Gave myself a black eye as I tripped and did a face plant. Great start for this new digit.
Oh, no.
Actually, that on my end, I'd have, you know, once I knew she was okay, I would have filmed it.
Yeah.
And put it out there and been like, I had to tell her twice.
I would. I'd tell everybody you hit me. I'd get you back. I'd be like, yeah, he hit me.
RN says wife made a totally homemade pizza tonight with fresh made pizza dough. Yum, best I've ever had in Alabama. Yeah, how cool is that? Skins Girl said I had a tear in my eye watching that video. You could feel the love Tag has for you, B. It was so beautiful.
It was very beautiful.
Tiramisu.
Not tiramisu beautiful.
It wasn't tiramisu beautiful. Grumpy says, hey, my great friends, I need to run. Just found out we have people coming in the morning. I was busy all week and planning on cleaning tomorrow. Nope. You go do you. And if we can do anything to help, let me know.
She needs help cleaning.
Yeah. I know a great cleaner.
You don't want help cleaning.
Yeah. Nola Girl says, Amelia wishes you a happy birthday, by the way. Nola Girl says, I thought everyone knew that Mardi Gras is all about we party before going into 40 days of Lent. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Hello, B. How was your birthday? Says Sweet Savory Words.
We had a good time. I was gifted a cake.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a surprise. We had some people show up and they brought me a cake.
Yep.
It was like a cake that had 4 different flavors in it. So I got to have a little bit of everything.
Yeah. That was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Yes. And I got to spend some time with them. That was nice.
Yep. And there were some other birthdays going on at the same time. I think Rick had a birthday. Who's in here?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Who else? Was there anybody else? There was some other person.
Yes.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
There was anyway. Happy birthday to everybody.
Yes. Pippin had a birthday. Hacks had a birthday. Mrs. Hacks on January 10.
Yep. Mrs. Hacks had one. Anybody else?
There was somebody else, but I don't remember.
Yeah. The baby in a king cake is baby Jesus.
Yes.
Terminator said, I loved singing you happy birthday.
That was so nice.
Yeah. And you know what I liked about it? It was so Terminator.
Yes.
Like it was the essential Terminator.
Yes. And she's the only one that sang to me.
Yep. She said, this is for B. Happy birthday. And then started singing. It was just great. Amelia said, I was surprised none of the neighbors didn't come out to see what all the noise was. The dogs didn't even bark. Talking about you face planted. Rick says his was on the 11th. Yep. And Terminator's son's birthday was yesterday.
Yep. Nice.
NT says hello. I usually watch on delay, but I'm watching live tonight. Well, I'm glad you're watching live, NT. And you know what? I hope you watch live more often and comment and help me make fun of B. And we can all get together and ensure that I get tiramisu.
Gosh,
I like that. Let me see. Oh man, the sound of a cake made me drool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, Miley says, what is the best brand of coffee? What y'all like out there? So Hollow Roast, which is Nicole Sauce, who's on Freesteading, she makes a pretty good coffee down there. And I like to do business with other homesteaders.
Mm-hmm. And she ships.
So, I mean, I would start right there because I know that at least that money is going to someone who's attempting to build community and attempting to live free. And guys, building community is expensive. We spend a lot of money doing it, don't we?
Yes.
And so I would start right there.
Yes.
Has anyone grown? What is that? Grown right there. Ash potato squash or Pennsylvania crooked neck squash? Carlene says Terminator is my hero. Yeah, you know what, Carlene? Terminator is all of our hero. And it's funny. I met up with Terminator on the internet very early on in my channel, and she just got Terminator, and I think she actually enjoys the name Terminator.
It's because she does so much.
Yes.
Solo.
Yes. And we're all soft, and none of us compare.
Yeah,
pretty much.
She splits her wood with an axe, and she fetches water out of with a bucket out of a well.
Yeah.
And hauls it back to the house on a sled.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah. So, my crooked little homestead, you guys go over there and subscribe and watch her because
watch her videos.
She's tough, man.
Yeah.
Tough. Pockery says there were a couple of times on my birthday I gave my mother a bouquet of flowers because she did all of the work.
Yeah.
Gave Dad a small Snickers. Jochi says our local orchard liked to experiment with veggies. They grew a squash that tastes like mashed potatoes when cooked.
Wow.
Yeah, I could tolerate that probably. Rick, by the way, Rick says happy Friday the 13th.
It is Friday the 13th.
Oh man, that's why you're being all weird today.
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't seen you all day.
Well, maybe that's the problem. What you been doing?
Hanging out, eating bonbons.
Let me see here. Trying to catch where I'm at here. Let me see. Starla Doke says, tag, do you need Hunkery turnip seeds? I have 6 packs and can add them to what I am sending to B. Yeah, I mean, we would try anything. We like to grow stuff. Well, B does. Gaines Girl says, pretending it's not the 13th.
Yeah.
Nola Girl says, cheese filling anything is my favorite. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Nola Girl. I kind of like that too.
You do like cheese. But hey, I could do cheese stuffed butternut squash. Cheese stuffed anything.
I'll just eat the cheese out of it. Terminator says, yes, I do love the name. My kids think I'm funny. Okay, MC Porterhouse said, I drank Hollow Roast this morning. Nicole is good people and makes good coffee. I think I'm going to go make a cup. Thanks for the reminder. Heck yeah. And that's another really good channel. Guys, Porterhouse and Teal, if you guys haven't, he is really smart and they're really good at what they do. And I have learned from them personally, and there are things that they do that we have now adopted onto our homestead.
They've got some pretty good ideas.
Yep. I got myself a handheld battery operated chainsaw. I will do a video. I've already cut a half a cord of wood and hauled the wood by sled. Yeah, see, that's why you're the Terminator. Rick says cheesecake for the win. One step closer says cheese stuffed poblano pepper. See, I would do that. Love the people down here. Good food too. Yeah. Pockery says I've got at least 40 cultivars of squash. You see, Porterhouse is good people. Yeah, Porterhouse is great people, and I really hope that our paths cross again someday. I really enjoyed my time with him down in Tennessee.
Yes.
Butternut squash with butter and sprinkle the brown sugar. Yum. Yep. Rick says cheese stuffed ghost peppers. No, thank you.
Ouch.
Cheese stuffed jalapenos now from Half Bubble Off Plum. I would do.
Wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, wrapped in bacon. Yep.
Good.
So let's talk about the homestead. What have you been working on?
I haven't been working on Homestead. I've been helping. I had to order a new phone for a guy up the road. I had to go get groceries for a lady down the road. I had to wrap some diapers. I had to
Pour some honey.
Yes, I had to help another.
So let's talk about the
Yes.
first one. So the old guy that you had to go get a new phone for.
You
guys have seen him in our videos. When we did the homestead rotation, that old guy Russ that was running the sawmill is who she's talking about.
Yeah, he broke his phone and he comes over and I call tech support or his insurance and order him a new phone.
Yep.
So I deal with his phone issues.
Yep.
And then had a lady that fell, so I had to go help her get cat food and then groceries. So I had to make several stops, and then had somebody I know who was having a shower of some kind and needed to, not a shower, but a party shower and
a wedding, right?
Bridal,
a bridal shower, right?
Or something.
I think it was a bridal shower, yeah.
And she needed some favors, party favors.
Yeah.
So I did some little honey, 1.5 ounce jars of honey.
They were so cute.
Rope wrapped a
they
little.
Were this big, and they had that, the little honey, the wooden honey. What do they call that?
Dopper.
Yeah, a little honey dopper, and then twine around it. And they were this big.
I put a little bee on there.
Yeah.
A little golden bee and a little tag that says, thank you for coming. And
yeah.
Then I put them in a little baggie, and
then they're going to put them at all the tables. Is that right?
I don't know.
You don't know what they're going to do with
them. Hand them out, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So basically, you haven't been doing anything.
Yeah, I went out to do chicken chores, and I stepped on one of the chickens.
Did you kill it?
No, but now her foot is like her foot is discolored, and I'm like, oh no! And she was just right at my feet. She was just standing there right at my feet while I was feeding some food, and she always comes up to me, so I know she's there. But I took a step backwards, and I felt it.
Mm.
Like I felt it under my boot, and I'm like, oh no!
So is this what you graduated to?
Hurting them.
Well, you started drowning them.
That was an accident. This is an accident too. It's when they run from you, then there's no problems. But when they want to come up and they're like, hey, what do you have in your bucket? Can I have some? And then I take a step and they're just tripping hazards. And I stepped on her and I feel really bad. And so her foot is like purple all the way up to like halfway. And then the rest of it's yellow like the other leg. So I don't know. And it's too cold to soak her in Epsom salt. So I don't know what to do.
Well, I would quit drowning them and quit stepping on them.
Well, if they would just know that I was going to take a step backwards.
Mrs. Hack says, B, don't forget you stalked us around town.
Oh yeah. So I went to town and she said, are you behind us or are you in front of us? And I was like, I don't know. Where are you? And she's like, I'm right here. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. And then she's like, are you in front of us again? And I'm like, or behind us again? And I said, I don't know. Where are you? And she's like, I'm on the square. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. She's like, where are you going?
D. Marie says that her chickens do the same thing.
They want to be right there by you.
Yeah. And Steel Roz says her girls do the same thing too.
Yeah.
Potpourri for Life, that's who I'm going to, we're going to do an interview this next week, said put some comfrey ointment on her foot. I'm
out of comfrey ointment.
Yep, you need to make some.
I have some.
You have comfrey.
Yeah, I don't. I only had the comfrey that I have is not. I can't harvest it right now.
Yeah, Packrat says not the right way to make chicken patties be.
Ouch! Ouch! I feel horrible because she was such a kind girl.
Yeah, Potpourri says you might have to hold her and massage the comfrey ointment in, but it works really well for those types of wounds.
Can I use another kind of ointment? Because I don't have comfrey right now.
Is there an essential oil? Maybe?
Anybody have? I don't know.
Potpourri says you might have to hold her and massage the comfrey ointment in, but it works really well for those types of wounds. I already said that. Okay,
you
sorry.
said that.
Sweet Savory Word says, B, you need a wire hoop skirt to keep the chickens from your feet. I can make you one.
I saw that guy. There was a guy who was, I guess his turkeys like peck at him, and he was wearing a hoop skirt and like swooshing it at them.
Yaya says, when I was a kid, I stepped on a baby chicken, killed it by accident. I was devastated. Yeah, but Yaya, have you ever held a chicken down, opened its mouth, and drowned it?
I was trying to give her some water. She didn't swallow fast enough. Yeah, she like choked.
Amy says she can send you some comfrey ointment. She'd take it, Amy, and we'd be happy to pay for it too. You know, if someone could just get us some. Let me see. B, you want some comfrey root cuttings? You got a bunch of comfrey.
I have the root.
Mm-hmm.
I have the root. If it, I have them in the greenhouse, so I'm hoping that they didn't freeze through that.
Yeah, no, they'll be all right, I'm sure. But I mean, Spags, we certainly won't say no to more, right? We have a huge canvas that can plant stuff all over the place. Terminator says, I have a 30-pound turkey named Susie. Loves it when I go into her pen, and she always greets me with cuddles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, they know where their love comes from.
Yeah, they do. RN says Billy Bond would probably have some comfrey ointment. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, Amy says that was hysterical. That guy was a hoot. Rick says, I'm sorry, talking to Porterhouse. Sorry. Good night, everyone. You got to go. Have a good weekend. One step closer. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for making us a better community. And thank you for that. I mean, I just can't tell you thank you enough. You do not have to donate your time. You have a lot of things to do, but instead you choose to donate to the community. And so I just want to tell you thank you. Miss B. Lippy has comfrey sap for sale.
Oh, I didn't know she even had that.
Okay. Pack Rat says plantain, comfrey, calendula, latana, yeah, am I saying it wrong? Are all the same grouping of herbs for repairing things.
Okay.
Miss Lippy sells comfrey sap. Yep. You see, Porterhouse said it's been raining for weeks out here. No complaints from me though. Bring it. Yeah. My favorite Porterhouse and Teal video is the one he went out and he had this patch of grass that was always greener. And so he said, there's got to be more water down here. So he dug a trench and put some gravel in it and all of this stuff and then runs it downhill. And all of a sudden he's got this, low well that produces all kinds of water for him. And it was just super smart. And it's just amazing.
Yeah. And what a great idea.
Isn't that the dissemination of waterboarding?
No.
Yeah, you guys, B is waterboarding our chickens.
No, I was helping her.
Yeah.
I was helping her to take a drink.
Yeah. And how's she feeling today?
She's not feeling anything.
Dee Marie says my rooster's name is Lucy. Long story. Well, you know what? Now that I know Terminator, I actually might name my rooster that.
I have a rooster named Dottie.
Yeah. Porterhouse says Spags looking forward to the chat. I would assume that means that Spags going to go on Porterhouse's channel or vice versa. That will be a good interview. Those are both super, super good people. Dee Marie, that's funny. Yeah, I love Porterhouse and Till's video on biochar. Yeah, that's another good one. I like the one where he buried the pork chop in the pile of dirt and then his chickens dug it all up. Yeah. Yeah. It was way, way, way cool. Yeah. Nah, in waterboarding, the subject is okay at the end.
Not always, though,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much always. Yeah. NT dropped the mic. Yeah. You know what? You guys, I cannot tell you how exciting I am that you guys told me or made me aware of the fact that she was waterboarding the chickens. This is going to be great.
Yeah, no, I'm never going to listen to it.
Yeah. Nola says po chicken. Yeah. OB, I'm good. Don't help me. Laugh out loud. Amy B says, Tag, have you and Jack Spirko ever done a podcast? I did. So I was on his show. Any idea when?
A long time ago.
September, maybe. August, maybe. And the name of it was Screw You Guys, I'm Going Off Grid. That's what he titled it.
Did it?
Yeah. So I was on his show. Yep. See, my rooster's name is Stud Muffin.
Stud Muffin.
Yeah. But from Steel Raws, I mean, that kind of makes some sense, right? Yep. Gypsy says, sorry, B. No, don't be sorry. This is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful that B has been waterboarding. So not only is she always on vacation, but she's waterboarding our animals.
Just the one.
Well, so that I know.
No, it's just the one. I mean, I've done a lot of other things, but just the one.
What are some other things you've done?
No, I mean, well, I just stepped on one.
Well, besides that, so you've stepped on one, you've waterboarded one. How else have you killed a chicken?
Oh, I killed lots of babies because I thought that they were like. So when I first got chickens, I thought that like the eggs were all the same age, and that is not accurate. So when a hen decides that she's no longer going to sit on said eggs, I thought that that meant that they were just done.
Yep.
And that's not the case always. Sometimes they're alive.
So when you take an
inside.
egg that you think's bad, what do you do with it?
Well, now I need to.
What did you do with it back then?
I just threw it on the ground.
And then when the little baby was squirming, how'd that make you feel?
I felt awful. Yeah, don't do that. All of the eggs are different ages. They're hatched at different days.
Yep.
So put them in a brooder. If the mom leaves the nest after 3 of them hatch, put them in a brooder, bring them in, try to do something for them. Don't just throw them in the compost.
I think it's amazing that they come to your feet because you've killed a fair share.
Yes, I have. Yes, I felt so bad because after I did that, there was no way of saving them.
Them? Was it them or
There was several of them. Because just, dumped them out. I mean, there was like 40 eggs in there, and it was just, it was a bad day.
I have a vision. The waterboarding chicken whisperer. What do you think?
That is not good.
Or we could put it on a cup like
I
this.
I do have a shirt that says Chicken Whisperer.
Yeah, but you need the waterboarding one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm way behind. All right. So, Tom, thank you.
There's a lot to learn when you're raising animals.
Corleen said we had a spontaneous buy with being gifted the cow. 3 of us pitched in and bought a meat saw, which was pretty awesome. Now we're talking about building a smokehouse for when we process pigs. Love this. This is what community is right here. LJC, thank you. Amy says, B, I'm sure the rest of the chickens will note the examples and they will get in line.
Right.
B, you rule with an iron fist?
No.
Oh, no, you rule with a cup of water.
You're funny. No, I've learned a couple lessons throughout the years.
Steel Rod says, Amy, Army brat, tomboy, raised by my father, plus 30 years in trucking. I just can't help myself. Yeah, no, don't stop. Nope, don't stop. And, I think B having to come to terms with her murderous rampages, is healthy for her in her own personal development, in her own personal growth, right?
Yeah. Yes, I have grown.
Mm-hmm. Pack Rat wants to know how it made you feel when you crushed the baby.
Well, the second time that happened, I took the eggs and I put them under the brooder, and I did get several of them to hatch. But, it took another 20 days of me smelling them eggs to realize that they were not going to hatch.
Mm. Yeah, LJC says Tag was on Jack's podcast in July, but it's listed with the name Towdy, not Tag. Yeah, I don't know why they put Towdy. I just didn't tell him to change it.
Towdy.
I can be Towdy.
Pouty Towdy.
You know what? I'm Pouty Towdy and you're Murderous Bee. Right? You're the waterboarder chicken whisperer.
Funny.
I'm going to make a t-shirt. I am.
That's not funny.
You see, Tag, at least B didn't pretend she was Aussie with the bat. When my dad would tell me stories about when he was in Vietnam, that they would eat them like that. So they would have an egg that would have a chick in it.
Oh yeah.
And then they would eat that chick.
Yes. Yes.
And that's disgusting.
Yes, that is a delicacy.
Eagle Lover says the chickens are going to form a militia against me.
Nah.
Yeah.
They will love me.
Sweet Savory Word says, I know, B, you need chicken hawk boots.
What's a chicken hawk boot?
Pack Rat says, I felt awful. Tag laughs heartily. Yeah. I think it's funny. And of course, I like to torture B. They said, B, you're a good sport. B Comfrey comes back every year. Yeah. B's got a bunch of it, but there's just no green right now.
Mm-hmm.
Still can't give away a rooster, but wait till they lack food. No more giving away, going to the freezer. Yep. I think that's it. With the things that are going on today, I think that is great advice, never alone homestead. And I think everybody should probably start practicing that. B, first warm day after a hard freeze, I walked by my one hive and the bees were flying really good. I really need to get in there and do an inspection.
I wouldn't. Where's he at? Is he in Texas?
I think he's in Arkansas.
Is it cold there?
Not as cold as here, but it's probably cold.
I wouldn't pop it open in this type of weather. It depends on what kind of hive you have too, because if you pop it open, then they have to go in and try to glue it back closed.
Skanes Girl says, y'all need matching shirts. Tags will say, I'm with the water border with an arrow, and bees will say, I'm with the guy that's never getting tiramisu. Rick says balut chicken is weird tasting. I'm assuming that's what that's called. I don't know. Jonathan says, speaking of coming back, B, my tarragon all froze down to the ground in that bad freeze, but they're coming back out at the base now after I cut them back. That's good to know.
I had my tarragon that I have in the kitchen got some kind of like bugs. So it had like cobwebs on it, and I sprayed it with dish soap and killed all the bugs. Or I think that they were, what are those? Houseplants get the cobwebby bugs. So anyway, this one particular tarragon had that on it. So I cleaned it all off, and now it's coming back at the roots. It's green again.
Yeah, New Day Farm says Tag is pulling bees' pigtails in school.
Mm-hmm.
He still has a crush.
Faux show.
Amy V says partially developed eggs are called balut and are an Asian delicacy. Yeah, my dad used to talk about eating them. Yeah, gross. Disgusting. B, if they love you after you kill the flock on accident, is that like Stockholm syndrome?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually kind of is. That's great.
I'm just learning.
I wish I could try beekeeping, but I'm allergic to just about any flying critter that stings, Steel Raw says. Only on a day above 50 degrees. Yeah. He's talking about opening up the hive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. B, I cannot find your email address to get with you for Mullen. It's tag N, the letter N, B. So tag NB at lifedonefree.com.
Yeah, spider bites.
Yep,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
I had spider bites on my tarragon.
Yeah.
And I used ivory dish soap and water and sprayed it down and got rid of them.
Yeah, you're going to start lettuce and all that stuff pretty quick?
In the greenhouse? I probably could, actually.
Mm-hmm. I know you can. That wasn't the question.
Yeah, I kind of need help getting those barrels up.
Mm-hmm. The barrels.
The
black
I don't know. They're not barrels.
You should have told me that when I had the skid loader out.
I know, but I wasn't thinking. I was trying, at that point in time, we had a snowstorm coming. I was trying to get the back deck full of wood. I was trying to get the kindling cut.
Maybe if you spent less time trying to kill our chickens.
I haven't killed any in a really long time. I've just stepped on one.
Yeah.
And now her leg is black. Or it's like dark purple. I don't know. And it's got a distinct like purple and then like a bump and then it's yellow. So I just
probably broke it.
I think I broke it.
And she's probably in pain right now.
Yeah. But she's better alive.
Rick says, we were up to 40 today. I was running around in shorts till sunset. It was nice. Yeah, I think what did we get to today? About 40, didn't we?
Yeah. No, it wasn't that warm because I still had to break the water in the chicken's coop. I had to like break it open. And if it was 40, then I wouldn't have had to have done that. But all of the ice melted off of the solar panels, which was nice because when we didn't get snow, we got ice. And I could not get the ice off of the solar panels. So
they're pretty much cleared off now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said they're cleared off now, but when we got this last storm, it was ice.
Yeah. Amy says, I harvested 4 gallons of freezer bags of basement salad and pak choy yesterday and bartered with it. It was so excellent.
Nice.
Skane's girl says, oh no, Beezilla.
Beezilla.
Like Godzilla. Yeah, I like that. Actually, Beezilla would be a funny t-shirt too. And I could draw a picture because I'm kind of artistic that way.
With like chickens.
Yeah, like 2 chicken necks or, holding a chicken's mouth open with a glass of water.
It was
or smashing a baby egg.
I was using a syringe, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, poor bee. Potpourri of Life says 45 here in New Hampshire. I wasn't in shorts, but it was great. Yeah, I say that I'm ready for the warmer weather, but as soon as the warmer weather comes,
it's on. It's
on, and it's going to get super hot, right?
Yeah, it really does. We have here lately, we're not getting like spring and fall. We're getting like winter, summer.
Yeah.
It's going like hot, cold.
Yeah.
So I guess you get your winter or you get your fall and spring in these months with the 45 degrees. We're like so grateful for 45-degree weather in the middle of January that we can be. That's our.
Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week. Rick said Killer Bee and the Butternut Meanie.
Yep.
I feel some t-shirts coming on, Rick. I really do. Let me see. Terminator says, I'm back. My phone went crazy, so I had to shut it down. D. Marie says, just got the pea and sunflower microgreen thing figured out. Not buying greens in the store no more. Good for you, D. Marie.
I want to do microgreens. I want to learn. It's like, yeah, I think that would be good for us.
Yeah, Pockety says, Mother Nature, menopause weather.
Right.
Let me see. Still Ross says, y'all making the old gal in South Central Texas feel cold. Yeah, it's cold up here, but I was outside working. I worked a lot of the day outside today, cutting and stuff. And
it was cold, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, we were talking about the homestead, what you were doing. So let me fill in what I've been doing.
Okay.
So I'm a reloader, for those of you guys who don't know. And so I love to reload. And back at the old house, I had my own reloading room and all of this. And it was nice. I could go and, turn the TV on and just sit down and reload. And I have all the, single stage presses, but I also have the progressive presses as well. And so when we moved from the old house to the new house, that stuff kind of got put aside in boxes. And I haven't really looked at it since, but we got far enough along. I got to spend some time in what will be my reloading room. I haven't done a video on it because I don't really want to show that on YouTube. And I might change my mind someday, but so that's what I've been working on, but I haven't been filming it because I don't really want to show it on YouTube. But anyway, I built myself a reloading room, and tomorrow I'm going to put paint on the walls. I'm hoping to get that done, pretty quick. Let me see. You would like micros, B, we will teach you.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And B would love that. Christine Beal says, good evening, guys. Just seen Heidi from Rain Country join Freesteading. Looking forward to seeing her there. Blessings. Yeah, me too. Actually, she accepted my connection request. And so I'm actually hoping to have a conversation with her. Yeah, Mandy says, what is your take on painting or wrap in black plastic IBC totes for water storage so algae won't grow? Thanks. Yeah, so
painting or wrapping in plastic.
Yeah, I probably would paint it over wrapping it in plastic, just personally. But you absolutely need to paint it black
because plastic will fail. If you wrap it in plastic, the wind blows and
it tears, and then next thing you know, you got algae growing in it, and so I would paint it black.
Paint it.
Yeah, I would. There's now if you haven't bought an IBC tote, don't go pay retail for an IBC tote, because there's other tanks I would rather have, Mandy, in place of the IBC tote if I was paying retail. Now, if you had a deal on them, obviously I would take the IBC totes, right? Rick said I picked up 2 pounds of pistachios at Wally World for $14 today. Is that expensive?
2 pounds?
Sounds expensive.
No, I don't think that's for 2 pounds. I don't think so. I think that's a good price.
Deborah says, do a video on the microgreens and how to grow them so the rest of us can learn too, please. So Tabletop, did you get that? So it's being requested you do a video on it. They will ban you if you show reloading. It happened to my friend. Yeah. Well, I was never going to show reloading. I may show you guys the room because I'm going to build it in a way where it's pretty much most things are hidden, but we'll see. LJC says, B, we can get a sweatshirt like yours, blue, that says Free Woman. And does it say hold the line on the back?
The Free Woman shirts say join the swarm on the back, and they are graphite gray.
Yeah, but you can get them in this blue if you wanted them, right?
Yeah, I could. I'd have to order it, but she's so far behind because we ordered she's still working on the Free Woman shirts. I have not received. I ordered t-shirts and sweatshirts or hoodies, and I have none of that yet. So it's a wait.
It's a wait, but I mean, we've been pretty clear on that up front that anybody that wants to order these kind of things, that we use a lady that's here. She's got, works out of her house, and she's not the quickest, but LJC, if you want a blue one like that says Free Woman and says hold the line on the back or join the swarm or whatever, if you tell me, I'll get you one made. It might take me a few weeks to get it, a month maybe.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
because we talked to her first in December, the beginning of December,
and we're still waiting. But you've sent out all the hats and everything, right?
Yes, we're out of beanies.
Have you sold all those beanies already?
Yes.
Pretty cool.
We're out of beanies. I have black hats and I have brown hats and I have a couple of visors. Brown visors. And then I have freesteading shirts.
And you have the
hold the line shirts.
The Free Woo Man sweatshirts are coming. They're ordered. Okay.
They're ordered, yeah. But everything that everybody who's sent an email, and I have the stuff I have fulfilled and sent out.
Okay.
So there's a couple of people I'm waiting on payments from that I have their stuff, and it's in a box and it's sitting there just waiting for that next step.
Okay.
So I'm caught up. Everything that I have has been addressed.
Okay. Let me see here. Tabletop says will do. Yeah, so they'll do a microgreens video. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, make sure you guys go over and subscribe to Tabletop Farms and hit that notification bell so that you guys get notified when they do that stuff.
And then keep looking to make sure that you're subscribed, because I've noticed a couple of channels that I know that I have subscribed to have fallen off. And then there have been things on my list that I'm like, there is no way I signed up for that.
Baby, I have people tell me all the time that they were unsubscribed to our channel.
Okay. I didn't realize that was something you had to come back to and check.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is another reason why I'm going to start another channel, just to be sure. Amy, salted in the shell. Okay. Sorry. You see, Terminator said, I love my royal blue freestanding hoodie. I wear it everywhere I go for advertising. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So LJC says, you guys rock. I would love a blue one with hold the line and I'm not in a hurry. So you put that on your list?
Yeah.
Look at that. B's writing it down. LJC, you see it. You see it right here, right? Yeah. Amy needs a wallopini. Yeah, that's a kind of a curse word, Amy, around here. Because B wants hers finished and I have not worked on it. Let me see. ACM Homestead said, have my first set of microgreens going, just sprouting. Oh, cool. Manny Garrett says, besides IBC totes as water storage tank, what else would you suggest that's reasonably priced? I need something to hold a lot of gallons because I have a surface roof of 2,000 square feet of water to capture. Yeah, so here's the thing, Mandy. With 2,000 square feet, you could put an 8,000 gallon tank and fill it, right? I mean, and so, like, for example, you can go down to like Home Depot or any of them, and I bought a 3,000 gallon tank for $900 last time. It's the last one that I bought. Now, last time I looked at them, they were $2,000, but that was at the peak. And those prices have been coming down, so I don't know where it's at today. But the 3,000 gallon tank again cost me $900 at Menards last time. I mean, not Menards, at Home Depot. Last time I was there, and I like those a lot better because if an IBC tote, if you take it out of the crate, right, that plastic's really flimsy. It's really thin, and it won't hold up long term, I don't think. The big black ones that we buy, like my 3,000 gallon tanks, big thick plastic, and it holds up real well. And so I would go that route if it was me. I'm back. My daughter helped me get a post under a saggy floor. I had everything ready, just needed 2 more hands. Oh, super cool. And I'm even more impressed that your daughter would do it. Nowhere Homestead says we're seeing the same thing in our channel. Yeah, I think it's just part of the game. Nowhere. I really do. Shochi says, you can make a splint. It should heal. She's talking about for your chicken.
A splint out of what?
Yeah, what would we make the splint out of?
For the chicken?
Sweet Savior Word says link. Okay, man, you guys are so, look at that tabletop. You're way ahead of us. Good. Here I'm in northern Idaho. Let me see, 2,000 square foot of 1 inch of rain is 1,246 gallons. Yep. That's what I'm saying. You get it through a spring, you would fill an 8,000 gallon tank. Especially, I know where Mandy lives, so she absolutely would. You can pick up water tanks at auctions too. We paid $40 for a 425 gallon at an area auction. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about doing that is you just don't know what was in it. And they say it only had water in it, but and since we're off grid, Amy sent me an email, and thank you, Amy. I'll look at it as soon as we get off here. Let me see here. Anyway, what I don't like about it, I just don't know what's in it. But yeah, you can buy them out there. Sadly, some social medias like to play childish games with channels of free thinkers. Oh yeah, they don't want us to be free thinkers, guys. They just don't. They want good soldiers. That's what they want. I'm telling you, our entire school system was built on how to build a better soldier.
Yeah.
It just absolutely was. All you got to do is just research any history at all and go back to the roots of it, and you'll see that for yourself, Let me see. Right now, the price for water tanks is $1 per gallon. Is that reasonable? No, that's way too expensive, Mandy. I'm telling you, you should be able to buy that black 3,000 gallon tank that I bought. It might be $1,500, but that would be 50 cents a gallon. Right there out of a Home Depot. If you go online and try to buy the tanks, you can get them cheaper, but the problem is the shipping costs are out of this world.
Yeah.
To get them to you. So seriously, I would go check out, get on Home Depot's website and just look and just type in, water storage and see what you come up with. But I would think that $1 per gallon would be way too much money.
I'm going to check the fire.
Okay. Hippocrates says, Mandy Garrett, depends on the size. The price per gallon goes down until a certain size. Then it starts going up again. Last time I really dug into it, a 2,500-ish was the price break. Let me see. Sweet Savior Word says you have to put water in new water container, then draw out a sample and get it tested. Yeah, well, that's what we did when I installed it. And, the rainwater tested better than the well water, but not by a lot. But the weird thing about our rainwater is that it had fluoride in it, which still blows me away. Still Roz says to Tabletop that they subscribed. Good. Amy B says shave down popsicle sticks or sanded smooth kindling with vet wrap. Pad the skin under the wood with a stretched out cotton ball. Bird bones are hollow and slow to knit. Interesting. I'm going to, Amy B, as soon as B gets back, I'll scroll back up and unless I'm going to try to, just let me do this here. Oh yeah, look at that. Love technology. I just copy and pasted it. Let me open a document here, and I'm just going to paste this in here. So Miss B. Let me see here if I will. Got it. Thank you very much, Amy B. Rick says t-shirt idea, pressed chicken with a picture of Bee's foot over a baby chicken. Oh, poor little bird, Rick. Chicken tender. Bee is such a good sport. If you guys can imagine what it'd be like being married to me for 20 years, poor girl. But she is really a good sport. Nowhere says off topic, but wanted to mention here regarding lumber prices that Home Depot paints the edges and ends purple of the wood they consider damaged and mark it down by 50%. Yeah. Yeah. And anytime you can get a deal on anything, this has gone on a lot, in my world. I built my whole house on discount. I searched for everything I could find, that was in good quality, right? My boards needed to be straight. And I'm kind of particular about that anyway, because it's hard enough to keep them square. But I was trying to buy semi-loads of stuff and trying to get things at auctions and all of that stuff. And so I bet you, I don't know what I saved when it was all done, but I bet I saved $40,000 or $50,000 over the course of, a few years, by trying to, buy that stuff at a discount, or at least just, somewhat cheaper. Let me see. We're celebrating 20 years married this year too. Hey, congratulations. That's a long time to be with somebody, I can't believe Bee's, and I don't know if we're probably not 20 years. We're probably 18. I think we're 18. We'll have to ask Bee. I don't remember, but I know, right. That's not a good answer. But it's amazing when you get to spend that amount of time with somebody, and so congratulations to you and Yaya. RN retracted. I'm not sure what we was, but let me see here. Tag, you didn't have a used tank in your storage mix, do you? Some of the old municipal tanks for sale here were actually old fluoride tanks for the local water treatment facility. Yeah, Packrat, no, I do not. There's a couple of rules that I kind of try to follow. So like when it comes to my water, I didn't put anything used in any of it. I would use the used tank if, what I was going to do was feed a greenhouse maybe, or use it for something like that. But I'm not going to put it in my family's, bodies. And then I try not to buy used electronics either. Let me see. Crooked said, we're going to celebrate your 45th anniversary on April 22nd. Oh my goodness, man, half a century. How amazing is that? RN says we're at 27 years and counting. Tabletop says we're at 20 years as well. Yeah, maybe we need to do a Homestead 20-year anniversary celebration. Oh my goodness. New Day Farm says 41 years. God, such a long time. Just a long time. I can't imagine what it'd be like to, be with the same person for, half of a century. What an amazing accomplishment that would be, Yeah, and Tabletop, I think that for you guys celebrating 20, that's a big deal. You guys, aren't that old, Oh my good. Drummond Life said 47 years. Potpourri of Life says 43 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah, apparently we're youngins, at least that way. But congratulations to all you guys. Christy Beetle says 40 years. Oh my goodness. Look at that. 40, 43, 47, 41. Sweet savory years. I'm divorced 45 years and I'm still happy. Our anniversary is 2 weeks after the spring camp out this year. Yeah. So, hey, I don't know, Bobby, you still in here, or you guys know what's the dates of the Midwest Preparedness Project? I don't have them off the top of my head. But I'd love if one of you guys would post them in there. I'll talk about it a little bit. Steel Ross says divorced 45 years ago and decided I am the one for me. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I've been married for 26 years and still in love with yeah. How awesome is that, Easy? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of people, that's hard to find. A lot of people, can't stay in love for, 26 years. So I applaud you. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. That's pretty exciting, I think. So I'll look it up here. Apparently Bobby's not on here anymore. Rick says, I'm single, 17 months, laugh out loud. Jonathan says April. Oh, there you go. Okay. So Jonathan says April 26th to the 29th. So the Midwest Preparedness Project, this is going to be a special one because it's our 20th. So this will be oh my goodness. We were talking about 20 years, right? 20 years married, 20 years married. Anyway, this will be the 20th Midwest Preparedness Camp out that will go on. And I think they're getting ready to release the class schedule. It'll go on at Perry Lake, which is where it always goes on at, but this might be the last one there because we're kind of outgrowing it, but April the 26th through the 29th. So I hope as many of you guys that can go, I hope you guys go. I would really I would really, really like to see everybody. Let me see. Sweet Savory Word says, when I got divorced, the back of my car window said, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. She was not amused. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that. I imagine that she wasn't. Last Warning says, morning all. Hey, good evening here, but must be good morning wherever you're at. Where are you? Just out of curiosity. And if you don't feel comfortable, don't worry about it. But I'd just be curious. Yeah, Nora says that is an amazing coincidence, right? So you can go to the 20th camp out prior to your 20th anniversary, right? Which is pretty cool. Yeah, Terminator says us two old farces put up with each other. Yeah, but how amazing. You didn't see it up in here, but we were talking about how long everyone was married. And man, there's a ton of people on here. There's like 47 years, 43 years, 45 years, 46 years, 41 years.
Wow.
Tabletop is going to be celebrating their 20th pretty quick here. Right, which is pretty cool. Yaya, right, and them are going to be celebrating their 20th this year, which is pretty cool. And then it's the 20th Midwest Preparedness, right? So that's all pretty cool stuff.
That is cool.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Finally got her. Hey Avi, how are you? Yep. Welcome. You're right on time. B was just getting warmed up. Yeah. So I thought tonight another thing we could talk about a little bit is our goals for next year. Well, I guess this year, right, when the spring hits. You got any big hopes? Because I've got a whole bunch. You want me to start?
Yeah.
So Wallapini, right? I'd really like to get the foundation put into the Wallapini because once I get that far and the concrete hardens, it will take me nothing, right?
Why do you want to work on that already?
I'd like to be able to get you growing in it and know that it would make you happy.
Well, I mean, yes, but there's other things that need to come first, isn't there?
There is, but I'm working on those things right now. Right.
That's true.
Pod 4, right,
yes.
is closing in, babe. I've got 3 sheets of drywall up and the Pod 4 is on
drywalled.
my end is done.
I know.
This is why I asked her what her goals were. See, because this gives me a chance to see if she was right, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Tag, that was Hippocrates Garden. That was free at last, not Sweet Savory Words. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I read that wrong? Okay, so anyway, so your goal would be to finish Pod 4.
And that is a lot of sanding.
Yeah, so we have an amazing deal in my family. So I do all the concrete work. I do all the
whoa.
Okay, most of the concrete work.
Whoa.
Come on.
I was doing concrete work. I have boots that have concrete on them.
Okay. B does all the concrete work.
I do. I help. You just can't say I do all the concrete work.
Well, none of us do all of any of it, right? I help you with sanding. I've sanded in there, and I'm priming in the gun room right now. I'm the reloading room right now, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I do most of the concrete work, most of the framing. I do most of the, insulation, electrical, plumbing. I hang all the drywall. I put the first coat of mud on, and then B comes in behind me and she'll sand all the drywall, give it a second coat of mud, what's needed.
Third, fourth,
whatever it is.
Yep,
whatever it is. And then I will come back in and texture the ceilings if we're going to texture them, right? That kind of stuff. And then we've got to lay rock for the fireplace in Pod 4, and we need to put the wood planks on the walls. So we've been milling up lumber that came out of the pond because it's now been laying down for over a year into 5/8 inch planks. And then
when you mill them, you then have to let them settle again, don't you?
Yeah. So you're just going to try to get them dried out, which is why I stacked them in the shop over there. So they can the air can kind of, blow around them and dry them out. But so then what I'll do is I'll run them through a router table to give it kind of an overlap so that it lets those boards kind of expand a little bit. And then we're going to do a couple walls and a mixture of all the woods that came out of off of our farm. So there's oak and cherry and hickory and walnut, and osage and cedar. What else? A couple cottonwood trees. I think that's about it. But anyway, so we'll put them on the back wall. So I'd like to get that done. I really want to finish my reloading room, but I'm going to have that done this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm closing in.
It's a small room.
Yeah.
It's not like the bedroom, which is like.
Right. It's small. It's
4 times that size.
Yeah. So I'd like to get that done. But I also want to get working on fencing. I want to put some more fencing in this next year, right? To allow us to, get some of that stuff done. I would also like to trench another water line off my existing water line over to your chicken coop, because I think I could.
You can do that after it's all in there.
Yeah, maybe it's just a PEX. All you gotta do is get down to it.
I know, but if you cut it, won't water start coming out?
Not if I turn the break.
It somewhere.
Not if I turn the breakers off to the pump.
Okay.
Just walk in, turn the breakers off, cut the PEX line.
Stops the water from coming out or shooting out.
Put a T in it.
Yes.
And then run another line and run it underground and right up into the chicken coop to a faucet.
A frost-free one, or because the water freezes in the chicken coop?
Yeah, frost-free faucet.
Then I wouldn't have to drain it or anything.
Nope, you'd be set. So anyway, that's what I'd like.
That would work.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. And then I also would like to, if I can this year, I'd like to get the butchering area at least concreted, so that when it comes time to harvest chickens and that, it's not as big a thing.
Which I have a couple I need to do.
Let me get caught up, and then you can tell us what your goals are. Let me see here. Rick says, my goal is to get to know everyone here better. That's a great goal. Amelia says, Miss Lippy and Mr. Buddy said that they will be married 23 years this year. I can't remember the date, but remember the year 2000. Oh, cool. Terminator said, I'm hoping to build my log outside kitchen hooked up to the small greenhouse and a large greenhouse and finish my addition. I've been making a list for my big projects this year. Yep. Tia says, had to step away. Where are we at? Had to step away. Did you already tell them about next steps? I did. Actually, we talked a lot about it, Tia. And we were talking. Put the link in. Yep. Put the link in. And I told them why I was excited. And I also told them that you were generous and offered all the freesteading people a 10% off coupon, and just use the promo code freesteading. And so there's a couple people said that they were thinking about coming. So I hope to see them there for sure. Let me see here. Yeah, Amy B, yeah, it does count. Mandy says, for greenhouse growing tropical plants, is Wallapini, where am I at here? Right there. Is Wallapini the best way to go without heating using electricity? I think it is. From everything that I've read, the problem is our climates, it gets pretty cold. And if you've never seen it, and hey, if there's a mod in here that can do it, there's a video on YouTube called
Greenhouse in the Snow.
Greenhouse in the Snow. And there's a guy up in Nebraska, in the northern parts of Nebraska, who grows oranges and lemons, and it's just covered in snow, right? And grows it there. But if somebody can put in there a greenhouse in the snow, that's a great video to watch, Mandy. And so I do think that's the I don't really know any other way to do it unless you're using electricity. Yeah. Joanne Harris says, tag, I watched you on Toolman Tim the other night, and I want to hear your reason for such a thick foundation and why so fastidious with how you put in your insulation again. So a whole bunch of reasons. So the first thing is that the thicker the concrete is, the better thermal mass that I get. And I was concerned. You guys got to remember, when I went into this, I didn't know really a lot about solar, and I didn't understand some of it. I didn't understand. Like right now we run air conditioners and it's not a problem. So I'm not sure that I would have done it again. But what I was trying to do is keep the temperature down. And so I just used the thermal mass. I just used a big thick pad of concrete to get the thermal mass. And then how you put my insulation in again. So I'm a big believer that insulation is like one of those things in your house building projects that will pay you back all of your money. And so even in my walls, the side walls behind us, guys, if you went into that wall, what you'd find is R30 insulation in the cavity, which is thicker than they recommend, right? R19 is made for a 2x6. These are 2x6 frame construction, but I stuffed R30 in it, and to just try to get everything I could get out of it. And then it's got foam and aluminum foil insulation on both sides of it, and then all the seams are taped, and everything's sealed off. And again, I did that because I'm very concerned about my energy consumption and how much energy it takes to heat and to cool and those kind of things. And then also I was also trying to plan for the day I didn't have any electricity, and it worked out really, really well. And Joint Hair, if you watch that, you'll know that I talked about this. I have a buddy who's an engineer, and he one day came into my house, and this is in July, and walked in and went, oh, air conditioning. and I didn't have any on. It was because
we didn't even have any hooked up.
We didn't have any hooked up. We weren't even there. We didn't even own one at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like one of the greatest compliments that I'd ever received. Terminator said, I used to work on construction with my husband years ago. I mixed cement, split natural stone, did walkways and stone fireplaces with my husband. He is a retired stonemason. Oh, what a great skill that is. Evie says, we gals love flowing water in the chicken coops. Makes life so much easier. Yeah, I'd like to get that done for me. Yet Nowhere says our goal are to build a new chicken coop, build a metal shop, and prep ground to build a cabin for our in-laws moving up from South Texas. Yeah, those are all great goals.
Yeah.
Oops, let me see. Where's Carlene says, good night. Good night, Carlene. A thick foundation is a heat sink, cool sink. Yeah, and I try to go extra everywhere. You know, like I know a lot of people, Amy, who pour 4-inch pads like for driveways and stuff. I never do that. The thinnest pad I have on my entire property, no matter where you're talking about, is 6 inches. But most of them are even thicker than that. You know, my shop's concrete floor is 14 inches thick. And I did that because I never know what I'm going to come home from an auction with. You know, I just don't know. And so, you know, putting, and it's again, my shop floor, for example, has 2 rebar grids in it, you know, 12 inches on center, 2 of them spaced apart through the whole thing because I don't want it to go anywhere, and I'd rather just do it one time. I'm sure that someone who does concrete for a living would tell me, oh, you didn't need all that, but I did all that. Deep South did a video on the frost-free hydrants. We have 2 so far, and they're worth every penny. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We've steel raws. We've got 2 too. I've got one up at the orchard and one in the garden that we put in when we trenched in the water line to the house. And, you know, it's so silly why I didn't just trench one over to the chicken coop then. Right. I mean, I was right there. The hole was already dug.
Well, because that was, yeah, I mean, it was the well. So
yeah,
I had just thought that I would use rainwater the whole time. It never even came to mind to use.
Yeah. Jonathan says, one of my goals is to study more about construction and some more carpentry stuff. Yeah, I've got Jonathan, I've got a video coming out. I haven't finished it yet, but I've been working on it that talks about off-grid and homestead, building your own house. Like some of the little things to know that makes that whole building process easier. I've got one I've been working on. Yaya says, my goal is to have a gas line run to the stove and replace my electric stove with a gas stove. That's a good one. Nowhere says, Jonathan, I'm so glad you are up here now, buddy. We need to connect. Yeah, for sure. Evie, thank you. So see, there's the greenhouse in the snow. Cool. Let me see. You better hurry with that. Yeah. LJC's talking about, you know, they're trying to outlaw gas stoves.
The gas stoves.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Sweets Every Word says, my goal this year is to get out of my wheelchair enough to get my green stalks up and growing. Well, I would definitely wish you the best in that. Mm-hmm. Try to go down slow. Let me see here. Evie, you are a absolute amazing mod. I'm telling you, look at all that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Are those all the greenhouse?
Yeah, these are all the geothermal greenhouse. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just tours, a Nebraska geothermal greenhouse. Retired man grows citrus, and LDS Prepper did one. Yeah, way cool. Yeah, Tia says awesome. Yeah, we talked about it a bunch, Tia. And I think Tia we haven't scheduled it yet, but Tia, I'm going to do an interview with her on my channel coming up here pretty quick too. And we're going to talk about the next step conference, because I think it's really important, guys. And I think we as a people, it's time, we have got to take a stand.
Yep.
And these become more and more important all the time. And so, you know, like I said, I'm going to be down there at the end of February, speaking about escaping the technocratic state. But there's a whole bunch of speakers that are going to go down there, talk about all the different aspects of living free. And I'm super excited about being there. You see, New Day Farm says, we're getting 2 trucks with drivers going, plan to start a house, fencing, cool room, and storage for a pantry. Great goals. I have one for 2 years, not put in the frost freeze one. I think is what they're saying. I have one for 2 years, not put in the frost freeze. I read this week that the secret of Roman concrete was large chips of slaked lime. In the mix, it migrates through voids to seal cracks. Oh, cool. Wonder if it will be reaccepted into common practice. Well, you'd think if it would have already been, but I love that. Wintertime, I just melt snow and ice and keep buckets of water each day for replacing wear buckets in the chicken coop and barn. Yeah, that's what Bee does now. She hauls it, but gas today, wood tomorrow. Yep. My goal is to publish my children's book. Oh, Amy, you know what? Amy, if you are interested in it, I would love to do an interview and go over your book. If you're interested, tag NB. So tag the letter NB at lifedonefree.com and we will set it up. If they make everything illegal, I'll still be an outlaw. Right. Well, I think it's time, as we talk about this all the time, but it's time for, peaceful civil disobedience. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying no. That I'm not going to comply. It's not a law. It's funny that our county commissioners here, got into a conversation not long ago about how they were going to change this and make this law. And the audience stood up and said, no, you're not. You don't make laws. You have no authority to make laws. The legislative branch makes laws. Your job is to enforce the laws, and your job is to do that. Your job isn't to make laws. And they were kind of like, wow.
Yeah. Well,
okay then.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know. Oh, what did I do with it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I copy and pasted right here. So Amy B said, shave down popsicle sticks or sanded smooth kindling with a vet wrap. Pad the skin under the wood with a stretched out cotton ball. Bird bones are hollow and slow to heal.
Oh.
Cool. Yeah, Manny Garrett says, thanks for all of those videos. They look great. Yeah, you guys got to watch that, the greenhouse in the snow. That is just super cool. And Mandy, if I was you, I would copy and paste every one of them because I know you're going to go through, some of this stuff. Let me see. One more rock says, my goal is to get my HR freeze dryer out of the box and start using it after a year and a half. Harvest right. Okay. Yeah. One more rock. If you've got a Harvest right freezer in a dryer in the box and you want someone to take it out and test it for you, I know a guy. Yeah. Porterhouse says, got to run. Great chat as usual. Hold the line. Yep. Porterhouse, I will hold the line and not another inch, and peaceful civil disobedience. And look forward to seeing you in Spags. I love helping folks find what they're needing to make their life better and easier. Yeah. Evie's a rock star. Yeah. Absolute rock star. There's so much good stuff up there in all of those links. I think it's pretty amazing. I can get rid of this now. You got that?
No, you're going to keep that, right?
No, I wasn't going to.
Well, I'm not going to remember that when I go to.
This is called a pen.
Let me use your pen because my pencil is not working.
Yeah. You can write down on this? You got it. Okay, so it says shave down popsicle sticks. Mm-hmm. Okay, she'll work on that. All right, who else? Who else got some goals out there? There were some really good ones in there. See, what is let me see back here, where we at here. Okay, LJC says, what is your thought on concrete piers for a foundation instead of a slab? Yeah, I know a lot of people that do piers, and I know a lot of people who do piers as the footing and then put the slab on top of the piers. But, for me, here's the thing is that, so let's say you put piers up and you set your house up on the piers, right? And so any space that's underneath there is a great place for animals to come in, skunks and whatever, and live. And so let's say you're not going to leave a space and you push that building down flat on those piers. Well, now you've got wood touching the ground, right? And so it's just going to rot quicker. And so I typically would not be a fan of that. However, I will tell you this, if what I was going to build was a cabin, just a small place out in the woods that maybe later I was going to build something else, I would absolutely consider that because it'd be a lot cheaper. Eagle Lover said, I just thought about something. Last night we were talking about a flag for freesteaders. Right by me. Tag, make one with hold the line. Yeah, I wonder what everyone would like on freesteading. I mean, I know what freesteading means to me, but I would be interested in some ideas on what people think about a flag for freesteading, because I would absolutely fly it on my farm. It's I was talking to Toolman Tim about this in our interview yesterday, and we were talking about why freesteading and why is it freesteading. And I told him that all prepping leads to homesteading, but I think all homesteading leads to freesteading. And what that means is that you start going from, hey, homesteading is I'm going to, grow my own food. Right. And I'm going to do those things to start talking about how we starve the beast, right? That next level of freedom and independence. And so that's why we named it Freesteading, was, kind of after that. But I would love to hear what people said, what people ideas would be to a flag, because I would absolutely produce them. Alan said you all were coming close to Mississippi soon. If so, where at? So the next time I'll be down there to a close, I'll be in Georgia at the end of February. It's like the 22nd through the 25th. I'll be down in Georgia, and there's a link in here. Next Step conference. I'm speaking about exiting the technocratic state. And someone will put a link in here for us, but that's where I'm going to be. That's the next time I'm going to be down anywhere near there. Get the Harvest Right freezer out of the box. They work wonderful. Yep. Eagle, that's a great idea. I would hang that with my Gadsden flag. Yeah. So let's come up with some ideas to get the to-do list done from last year, says RN. Yeah. Build a spring box with a hand pump smokehouse. Yep. That's good. 72 likes and 90 watching. Very nice. Yeah, of course. I love that. I got 73 likes, just for the record, Rick, but I love it. A nice thing about South Central Texas is mesquite trees. It's a hardwood, grows fast, good for grilling, smoking, heating, lumber, post, and can use the beams to make flour. Wow. I wish we had them here. I did piers for many years on the off season from pools. They do need underpin. And if there's more than 18 or so inches out of the ground, put some rebar in it. Great advice. We're a likable bunch, Rick. Yes, Amy, I agree. We're a likable bunch. I love what this has grown to be. It's I watch a lot of channels, and we've got a good community here, and we, every Friday we meet here and chit chat, and I think it's exciting. And then now we're doing the Zoom calls, and I love this community. Absolutely love it. Skanes Girl says, build raised beds, terrace backyard, repair shed, and turn it into a hen house. Clean out and organize the shop, start on the Wallapini, remodel laundry room and pantry, and convert the old well to cistern for rain catchment. Those are all big goals.
Those are.
And
good ones.
And good ones, yeah. Jonathan says, we have lots of those down here too, but not weather to warrant using firewood. Yeah. Oops, it blew right by me. Rick says Freesteader flag. Yeah, I'd be interested in what it, what we put on it, what it says, what's the symbol. I mean, if someone was an artist, I would love to have an avatar. A free man of some kind or free woman of some kind. I would actually prefer, I think it was a female, because it's supposed to mean mankind, right? I don't know. But anyway, I would love to check that out. US made freestanding flag for sure. I'd fly a flag on my pole. Yeah. And it will absolutely be US made. I promise you that. Corleen says, are you driving? No, I'm flying. So I'm flying into Atlanta. And then driving from Atlanta. It's an hour from Atlanta.
I think wasn't it on the 20th?
21st is when I'm flying down, I think. Yeah.
At night. So it'll be,
Yeah, Skanes Girl said, and of course, finally finished the bedroom, bathroom. Yep, there's the link. Coraline, right there. Evie put it in there. The Next Step conference, February 22nd to the 25th. Yep, 74, 76. Oh my goodness, 78 Evie, by the way. I love you guys. Packrat says, Harvest Right sent me a message just today about $500 off their new unit with double the capacity of a large freeze dryer, in case anyone's interested. Yeah, if I didn't live off grid, I would be very interested. New Day Farm says, I have acres of mesquite here in Central Texas. Let me see. Go. All right. Mandy was where I was at. Yep. Okay. So if I was to put 5,200 gallon water tank on the ground, what would be the best pad foundation for long-term stability? Well, for me, the best pad, I'd put concrete, but if you're not going to use concrete, I'd use gravel, a small gravel, something that wasn't real sharp,
Pea gravel?
No, pea gravel. The problem with pea gravel is you get any pressure, it just pushes out from underneath
it.
And so I wouldn't use pea gravel, but I would use a smaller gravel and get it packed in real good. In fact, you could even go so far as to get some of that like road, that dirty road gravel, if you know what I'm talking about, and, get it beat in and watered in, because it kind of turns into a concrete, might be a pretty good base for that. Jonathan, y'all must be further south. We're in the upper end of Gonzales County. Occasionally gets below 40. Yeah, he's clear down at the other side. Hippocrates Pack Rat. I saw that and actually was going to buy it, but hit the wrong button. Oh, well, I think the large will be fine for me. Yeah, well, I've seen that. I know a lot of people who've got the large ones, and this seems to be fine for them. But my apologies for all caps post. Well, I must have missed it, so I didn't even see it. Sweet Savior Words, I apologize. Chochi says, has B seen the stuff today about vaccine for bees today?
No.
No, is there something out today? I'd love to hear about it, though. Royal Empress trees grow here in Zone 6 tag. Look into it. Fast-growing, self-propagating, great shade tree, and the wood floats.
Huh.
Yeah,
Royal Empress.
Yeah, you write that down. Let's look it up. Yep. Let me see. Evie says, I saw that, Chochi. Horrible. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I haven't really looked at the news at all today. Let me see. Screenings. Yeah. So Tabletop's talking about limestone screenings. So we use those for backfill a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I build a foundation, footings, when I'm filling in the center of the footings, I like to use those screenings a lot. Screenings would be a great choice because
it's cheaper.
It's cheaper. Yeah. Yep. LJC says it would be fun to do a spin on American Gothic for the flag and have a man and a woman. Yeah. I wonder, I'm interested in that. I need to do some Googling on American Gothic and see if there's something there. We need an artist. Miley Mason says, I say concrete and rebar. Yeah, concrete would be my top choice, but it's more expensive. So the screenings like Tabletop talks about would be a good choice. Whatever flag you would do, I would hang it at my place. Yeah, I think we should do one. And guys, I can absolutely get them made. I can get them put on the store. That's easy. I'll buy one. And I would absolutely fly one. Forgot to say hi, but I'm here sitting in a chair researching perennials that I'm fixing to plant and listening to y'all's live, my kind of Friday night. Yeah, on Friday the 13th, Hilltop. Right?
Are you superstitious?
No. Dark Horse Podcast posted a video on organic certification for vaccinated animals. They're doing mRNA vax for animals now.
Great. I did see a thing that said sunflower.
Mm-hmm.
Sunflowers there's something in them that help protect the bees against varroa.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need to plant some sunflowers over there. You got some big old sunflowers growing. We just throw some over there, huh? Because you saved a ton of seeds, right?
I did.
Yeah.
And they're native. Like, how tall was that?
Oh, 20 feet? Yeah, they got super tall. Manny says it's a 5,200 gallon round, 100-inch wide, 164-inch tall. Yeah. Tabletop says have a video coming out where we use screens on top of road rock for our new greenhouse floor. Yeah, that's a great idea. I like the screenings. Like I said, I've never used them for road work, but I've used them a lot for backfill, and they work great for that. Wilma Rock says, oh my God, yes, I saw that regarding the bees. What's next? Well, I mean, here's the thing. It only works if we participate. Right. And, I mean, so this is what I mean by, peaceful civil disobedience. Just tell them no. Now, in fairness, they're going to do what they're going to do. We may not have any control, and I haven't read the article. So let me see here. Stars says, Tag, do you have any videos on how to plant bare root trees, or can you recommend one? Would be a good channel that did that, because I have not shot it. We have not done any videos on those. Danny and Wanda would be my first choice off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Tabletop, have you ever done any videos on bare root trees?
Melissa K. Norris was planting some trees, and I think they were bare root.
Yep. Let me see. Sweet Savory Words. I thought it was the devil, but I'm finding ways to work with them. I'm not sure what that is. See, USDA approves first vaccine for honeybees. I'm going to open that up here. Okay. Oh, get out of there. It's on the New York Times. That's interesting. Oh, that link, EV for the vaccine is on the New York Times, and because I'm not paying for it, it won't let me open it. Yep.
But you can buy it for $1.
I can buy it for $1. Yep. What about using Quickcrete to set as concrete? How thick would it be?
Yeah.
So Mandy, a gallon of water is 8 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a significant amount of weight. But the good news is it's spread out over a pretty big base. So I do not know exactly what the pounds, per square inch would be on that or anything like that. Hippocrates would be he's pretty good with math like that. He might be able to tell you, but I mean, there's zero chance I would do it any thinner than like 6 inches. And I would not do a 4-inch or a 3-inch slab, especially for something that big with that much weight. EB says do not comply. 100% agree.
It is going to be heavy.
You see, Never Alone says the study out Friday 13th was supposed to be a lucky day. Wonder who changed this. Someone who wanted you to be scared, right? Man, I'm telling you guys, fear. They use fear so successfully. They are so good at it. You ever notice where it's one catastrophe after the other? As soon as one, people quit buying into the COVID-19 bullshit, and then
storms come.
No, then right behind that, you've got the storms and that, but then you also have Russia invading the Ukraine.
Yes.
Right. And now that's kind of gone. And, today the big headlines was China and Taiwan. Yeah. When I am convinced that really what happens is Putin, Biden, and Ying from over in China all sit down in a room and go, oh, okay, whose turn is it? And it's all some big, big scan. Where are we at here? Okay, tabletop says Manny Garrett, no less than 2 inches. Yeah, see, I wouldn't think 2 inches would be enough, but
yeah.
Lynn, hello, good evening to you. Amy B says sunflowers are good for detoxifying dirt from heavy metals. Cool. Joanne Harris says Billy at Permapasture Farms. Oh, can't believe I didn't think about that, about the bare root trees. Billy would be a great one at Permapasture Farms. Yes, Billy would be a great one. A good guy too. Let me see here. Starla says still rose the beans on mesquite trees for flower. I don't know if it's the beans or not. We don't have them, but we will be doing several on bare roots and how to bare root a poorly potted tree. Yeah, Tabletop, do that. I like watching Tabletop really over a lot of these other channels when it comes to growing. One, I like all the channels, and it's not that at all. And I like Tabletop, but it's really not that at all. They're my region.
Yeah.
They're from here. And so what they're doing applies way more to what I will be doing versus, like Billy, who's doing it in North Carolina or whatever the other places are.
Way south.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I'm almost caught up here. Let me see here. So Rick says from 2019, 18 athletes died from a heart attack. Since then, 1,800. Yeah, guys, there's all kinds of problems going on, but they're going to hide it the best they can until they can't hide it anymore. But there's a lot of that stuff going on. When I go down to the Next Step conference in Georgia, they're going to be talking a lot about this, about your health. And there's a bunch of doctors and there's a bunch of those kind of things that are going to be there talking about these types of things. And I'm super excited. Steve Scott said Deep South. Yeah, Deep South would be a good one for bare root trees too. I think it depends on where you live. I would encourage you guys that wherever you live, find a channel that's kind of in your region. We buy seeds from the Buffalo Seed Company. They're great people. Love them, but the main reason we do it is because they're in my region, and so these plants have grown up here, and I think your success rate's good. Potpourri of Life says the goal is to move to a larger property, yet right now we are downsizing of things that will not be useful and we will not use. We will have a yard sale in 2 months, build more raised beds. Yep, all good goals. Who's going to be the fool to hold the bee so someone can vaccinate them? Yeah, no doubt. I imagine they'll spray
all of them.
Probably just spray them, right?
Yeah.
Or put it in the pollen or something.
Chemtrails.
Yeah, right. They'll do it with chemtrails. Packrat, you were so right about California. Yeah, I must have missed that one. Some people used to put broken bricks in their concrete to make them stronger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad, when he was alive, he had a big, long driveway. It was like 1,800 feet long, and he bought a few semi-loads of broken brick. Crushed. And they were the size of an apple. And then he lined his driveway with that and then put gravel over the top of it and beat it in. Let me see. Evie says, there's a new vaccine protects honeybees from bacterial disease. Okay, let's try to open that one. Okay. I'm just saving this, babe, so you can read it. All right, there we go. So I've got it. I pulled up EV so B can read it when we're done. Let me see. Our plum gardens were all bare root and growing strong for 2+ years. Yep. Yeah, Rita says Permapasture Farms. Yeah, that's always a good choice. Let me see. Of course, the link to the NPR is biased, so expect it to be extremely woke and pro-vax. Of course. Yep. Let me see. Still Roz. Sorry, B should be getting my bees this spring, says Lynn.
Good.
Yeah, we really like the bees. We Bee was messing. For those guys who weren't on here, she was putting honey up in jars today. Join here says, I've seen things already getting exposed. Watch Died Suddenly documentary. Yeah, that was crazy. I have, for those of you who probably don't know this about me, I have some connections to the funeral industry, and that I dealt in a funeral product called Preneed in my companies for many, many years. So I have a lot of them, and they're all reporting that these things are happening now. Some are one side saying, you know, we've never really seen it like this before. Others have said, oh, we've seen it. It's not a big deal. But it is happening. I can confirm that by my own personal connections that those things are happening. Steve Scott, good evening to you as well. Rick says, tag, will the conference be viewable? I have no idea. That would be a question for Tia if she's in here on whether or not people can view it. Maybe after the fact, you know, not sure. They said they put it in the royal jelly that they feed the queen, then she passes it to her offspring.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give it to the mother.
Yep.
To affect the offspring.
Evie put in a link for the Better Bee Company. That's who we buy our hives from, is the Better Bee Company, because we call them the space hives. What are they?
The Lyson hives.
Okay. Let me see. Sweet Savior Word says, newsflash, 6 dead, 12 injured in Alabama tornado. Oh my goodness.
Eek.
In January. Guys, I think it's pretty hard to argue that something's going on, right? The weather's that's not normal in January. I don't ever recall that. For Alabama? No, that seems awful weird to me. Thank you. Just checked it out. We're getting ready for bed. Early morning, helping with our church's food drive. Oh, pretty cool. Yep. God bless and hold the line. Amen. Still, Roz, there's a YouTube video of a Native American woman showing how to make the flour and cook the flatbread on a stone by the fire. Oh, pretty cool. Rick says, choke the woke. Oh, that'd be a great t-shirt. You get in all kinds of trouble, but.
Yeah, all kinds of trouble.
Yeah, Chiochi says, I live in an old house and the cement from the old way had pieces of stone in it. Yep. And it's almost impossible to break up. Sweet Savior Word says, tornadoes moving east, heads up. Yeah.
Tonight?
Yeah, right now. That was breaking news. And man, I feel for all those people, man. You guys take cover and everybody be safe that's out there, you know, that's in that path. Tornadoes, we live in Kansas, they're no joke. So that tank would be a total weight of about 44,831 pounds, or 22 tons distributed over the area of contact. If correct, just under 6 psi on the soil. Yeah, that's really not a lot of pounds per square inch.
Right.
So you could probably get away with something thinner, but I'm telling you, if it was me, it'd be 6 inches of, you know, at least mesh reinforced concrete, but I'd rather do rebar, and then you just never have a problem.
Right.
One of those injured was Cog Hill Farms' 100-year-old granddaddy. Oh my goodness. Hope they're okay. I was watching the tornadoes last night on Ryan Hall, y'all. I love that show. He does very good coverage when there's bad weather. Yeah, I watch Ryan Hall a lot when it comes to weather. I like it way better than the local channels. I'll just watch a video every day. I know what's coming and go back to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
B, I need 2 gallons of honey if you have it. My annual supply is almost depleted.
How much?
2 gallons.
I do not have 2 gallons.
Yeah. Yeah, we might be able to come up with some for you, but you know, it's crazy. We if you guys know this, we don't sell anything really off the farm. We give some things away. We don't really sell anything, and we just consume it and, you know, try to live our life and our diet and all of those things around what we produce. Let me see. Okay. LJC says, my goal is to get our build site cleared and get our house going. I have been so busy that the guy I share my office space said to me, boy, you really want that cabin, don't you? Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, well, you know, LJC, you tell me how I can help, and you know, I'll push whatever buttons you need me to push, and you know, we'll get it done. Sweet Savior Word said our weather will never be normal again. Yeah, I'm afraid you're right.
Eek.
Never Alone Homestead said Weatherman Plus is excellent. Yeah, I've watched that sometimes too. Amelia says Siggs Hill Farm is going to try to get to Selma this weekend to help Jason's granddaddy. His home, I'm assuming that's roof ripped off, and the tree came through and knocked him out. Oh. And at 100 years old, getting hit by a tree is way more, is way rougher on you than, in the younger ages. Temps in Alabama are crazy. 9 degrees in December and 72 in January. Yeah. What is up with that? Anybody have any theories why our weather is what it is? Why it's gotten weird? I have some theories, but I don't really have anything I can really put my finger on, Never Alone Homestead. My goal is to get up 6 acres of land fenced up by myself. Oh, you can do it. You can do it. I did. How long did it take me to do the front fence? 3 months? 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put in 1,600 feet of fence, steel pipe fence.
Is that how long it is?
Yeah, the front 1,600 feet. And I concreted each pole in the ground, 4 feet in the ground, put 260 pounds of concrete in each hole, and then it's all welded steel pipe. But I did 1,600 feet in about 3 months by myself.
And only started 9 fires.
Yeah. Eagle over Texas said grand solar minimum. Yeah, and Evie says the jet stream is broken. Now, see, I think the jet stream is broken. I think I agree with that. And I've heard the grand solar minimum theories. I mean, I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. Hippocrates says the bees, the vaccination would have to be prior to the queen's maturity, as I believe they are born with lifetime of eggs, same as chickens and humans. If so, the genes would be set. Yeah, I wonder though if people are buying nukes, right? Is that right? Packages, whatever.
Could be a nuke or a package.
Yeah, people buying them, will they come pre-vaccinated? And is this a reason, right? Is this a reason why we have to now just grow our own? I mean, you grow your own anyway, but where buying them is no longer an option.
Yeah.
To keep that, from going on. I don't know. Let me see. The government all over the world playing with the atmosphere. Yeah. That's kind of one of my theories there too, which is just all of the stuff that's gone on, playing, God. Amelia in PDX, is there a fund to help granddad? Yes, if there is, let's get a link out there. Expect to see extreme weather events from here on out for maybe the next 50 years. Still Ross says research grand solar minimum. Yeah, I've done some reading on it. Mm-hmm. And I know some people who are in that profession who talk to me about it. I just don't totally understand it. But, this brings a really good theory. Are you guys changing the way you're building because of it? This is where my brain has gone is, so, do we have to, I'm going to stop this because I'm going to get way behind here, but, we're building a house. Do you go to, or we were just talking about concrete, do you go to a little thicker concrete, a little bigger wood, a little better fastener, when you put when you put a strapping and hurricane clips? I mean, do you plan on 80 mile an hour winds every year? We had 80 mile an hour winds here this year and everything held up just fine. But when you're building, are you now considering the changes of the weather and building things tougher and more durable to be able to withstand the changing weather? Tia says, we will be recording, but you really want to be there in person if possible. Yeah. So Tia, does that mean that you'll be recording and streaming it live, or you'll be recording for later use? Chemtrails, I've been seeing them overhead more and more lately. Yeah. Hippocrates, is 6 inches of gravel enough for a 1,000 gallon tank? I would say it is. He'll do the math for you, but I would say it is. The magnetic poles are shifting faster than before. It's what's messing with the weather. Yeah. And I've done some reading on that too, how it's moving, faster and faster towards Siberia. Data, my friend Data from Getting Deep with Data, that channel. I don't know if you guys have ever been over there or not. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's really into that stuff. Weatherman Plus is a very good, very accurate YouTube channel. N8 Snyder is an excellent storm reporter. Yeah, I've watched that channel. I have the front gate up last week. Oh, good. Amelia says Mark Weatherman Plus said that there is at least 2 more storms in the next couple of weeks. Includes West Coast getting it as well. Yeah, and the West Coast has been getting pounded with rain. Eagle Lover says grand solar minimum is not theory. It is cyclical of the earth. Yeah, I didn't mean that when I said theory. Just the story of the grand solar minimum and what it causes, because I think the truth is that we don't know. I mean, they talk about this is the effect on this, so this is the effect on that, but I think there's a lot of it they still don't understand, or to be fair, there's a lot of it I don't understand. Yeah. Tag, the weather is the grand solar minimum. The sun is shooting off coals and X flares. Yeah, they shot off a couple X's. Just what was it, yesterday or the day before? Something like that. Where was that? Right there. Just did 3,000 feet of 6-inch chain link, and oops, right by me. 3,000 feet of 6-inch chain link, and half of it with barb arm and 3 stranded barbed wire. That's a good fence. Suspicious Observer does some extremely good education on what's taking place on the Earth and the solar system. He's the best, in my opinion. Oh, cool. I'll have to go check that out.
Suspicious Observer.
Yeah, write that down, and then I'll look at it later. Yeah, CMEs. Yeah, coronal mass ejections. And, the right CME hitting us, we'd be in big, big trouble. I can tell you, I know firsthand that our government has done almost nothing to deal with a problem like that. Steve says that the weather in South Mississippi is crazy as well. Yeah, I think it's crazy everywhere. Yes, change the way you're building, bury water pipes deeper, 80-mile-an-hour winds, etc. Yeah, I think this is an important point, Evie, and something that we probably should be talking about more as creators about, hey, plan on what's next. Like we had 80-mile-an-hour winds, as I was mentioning here. Maybe I should be building for 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, weren't those gusts that took the trash can and put them up over the greenhouse?
Yes.
Weren't those 90 something?
Yeah, we had 80s. I think it was as high as it got, but
when the trash can did that wasn't this year. That was last year.
Yeah. I think 80 of those the biggest I've seen here. I don't know why I think that, but I do. Sweets Every Word says plan on much stronger winds, heat, cold, rain, and floods. Yeah, so to the extreme, right? And it's going to get colder and colder and hotter and hotter and wetter and
windier.
Windier. Yeah, and so
it's been windier and windier. So
yeah, so when I pour extra concrete or build extra stuff, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Starlet says, really need to find someone in your area that knows your soil, not only the composition, but rainfall, even clay. If it stays wet, might allow some sinking. Like tag thicker equals better. Yeah. I think that we really need to be building tougher. I think that's such a good point, and I have not heard a lot of people talk about this, but being prepared, for that. I think would be, crucial to the extreme weather events. Jason didn't say that there was, but until he and Brooke and his parents can access the damage, it will be a good question. Well, if we can help in any way, let us know. Watch Suspicious Observers on YouTube about weather. Yeah, B wrote that down, Tom, for us to check out. I've never seen that channel before, but I will. Yes, change your building criteria. Stronger winds, harsher summers, colder winters. I agree, Tag. Going way over code requirements for insulation is an excellent investment. Yeah, the more the merrier. And, this has just got me thinking in a lot of the stuff we build, how do I make it tighter? How do I make it, where the wind pushes on it, right? Because, this big building, right? The wind gets pushing on it. How do you make that just stronger and stronger and stronger? And, maybe like, for example, when you bolt your house to the concrete, right? I use redheads, and you drill and bolt, and I usually put them one about every 4 feet, but maybe one every 2 feet's better.
Well, you could also plant trees and stuff for windbreaks.
Windbreaks, right? Windbreaks would be a great one. And then rain, dealing with the water, something you and I have to deal with all the time.
Yeah, which
is such a pain in the butt. My house is on a high spot, but not the highest spot. So I'm down about 6 feet from the top of the hill, and just that 6 feet coming down from that top of the hill, 6 feet drop is what I'm referring to. It's over about 25 feet distance, but a 6 feet drop, we're constantly dealing with it.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Where are we at here? Yes, change it. Okay, I did that one already. Okay, our magnetic field is also weakening. Okay, where are we at here? Sorry, I missed it. Run on by. Where was it? Right there.
Far away.
I'm a long way. Okay, I got to get busy. Our magnetic field is also weakening as the poles move further. This allows more solar particles in, enlarges the ozone hole, and changes everything. Yeah, scary. It's crazy, guys. We prepare and we prep and we live homesteads for all of these things, and then you get into some of that kind of stuff, and what do you do?
Especially since it changes. If it's a moving target, it's hard to.
Yeah. Last year, because of the temperatures and the drought last year, I went out and bought a bunch of shade cloth, just rolls and rolls of it. so that if I ever needed to, I could put it up in the garden. But I mean, what are some other things, right, that we should be doing? Buying shade cloth, right? Extra insulation, right, in your house.
Shoot, the neighbor he put a metal carport up over top of his garden plot. And at first we were like, what is he doing? Why is he shading his garden?
Yeah.
And now we're like,
maybe that's not such a bad idea, right?
Because it was still getting plenty of light.
Pockety says, if we're concerned about gravel shrinking and mixing with the soil, consider a barrier geotextile. I'm trying that using landscape fabric under my portable building shed. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I've never used it, but the Lord said we would get to the place we would not know the time or season, a sign. These things must be happening according to the Bible.
Wow.
Yeah, that's spooky too. Let me see here. I thought it was the cow turds affecting the weather. Yeah. Isn't that, the more absurd the story, the more people fall for it, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to try to get down here a little bit. Okay, right there. Here where I live, we put our water and sewer lines almost 5 to 6 feet below the frost. Yeah, here our frost line's typically 30 inches, and I've been burying water lines 48 inches, but maybe I should be doing 60 inches. Let me see. Overbuild frost-free faucets. Yep. Tag, have you found any new insulation types you like for walls rather than traditional forms? Was your insulation traditional fiberglass batting? So I used traditional fiberglass batting, pack rat, and then I used 1/2-inch foam with this foil on the either side of it. But I really love spray foam, and my wife does not. I would have liked to have spray foamed my whole house, the hard closed cell spray foam, because what it does, and now we're talking about the weather, right? I think what it does is it really strengthens the structural rigidity of a place. It takes all this, a lot of the wiggle out.
Does that?
I do, maybe because it glues it in. I mean, I have when I was building,
it was foam though.
It's foam.
Foam.
Mm-hmm. And I understand your problem with it, right? She's worried about it emitting chemicals, right?
Off-gassing.
Off-gassing. And but man, is it just cool stuff. I mean, it is strong, strong, strong.
Until you're sick and you can't live in your house.
Understood. You notice we don't have any hard foam, right?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that it locks everything in, know.
The smells.
Let me see. Starla says, anything in my winter when no money goes out of my pocket. Yeah, for sure. Ryan Hallyaw is my go-to. He was even saying he has never seen anything like what was developing and transpiring yesterday. Yeah. Sweets Every Word says, yes, consider flooding effects on your property. Yeah, and what's crazy is I live on the highest part of my property, and I'm just down 6 feet from the top of the hill. And we still just that 6 feet, creates issues for us sometimes. The cycle we're entering repeats every 12,000 years, says Evie.
Wow.
Let me see here. Okay. How do I get so far behind so fast? Build strong, stay long. Yeah, Blockchain says, I agree with that. See, here in the central San Joaquin Valley, the rain hasn't been so bad. I've gotten a total of 5 inches over 2 weeks with the 2 storms where I live. A new storm is coming tonight. You definitely want hurricane ties on your roof. Yeah. So I use all of those when I build anyway. Hurricane clips is what we call them. But I mean, maybe it's time. I think I'm going to really start going another step beyond. And you know how I build anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's usually pretty rigid, but I think maybe that's a good idea.
To strap it different? Because
no, what I'm talking about is instead of using a 2x10 header, maybe I use a 2x12 header. When you're putting in king studs and trimmers, maybe I'll use 2 king studs and 2 trimmers instead of 1 king stud and 1 trimmer, just beef it up, add extra to it, when you're building. Mandy asks, are you sure a mathematician? Yeah, do you think 8 inches thick of concrete would work? Yeah, 8 inches of thick will hold a tank. So it would certainly work. Let me see here. Diagonals are your friend for strength. Yep, couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. See, if I build another home, the walls will be a foot thick with 1 inch thick windows. Yeah, I think if I was going to build again, I might consider ICF forms all the way up. Where you got an 8 or 10 inch concrete wall all the way around you. I mean, that would be pretty good.
No, because the ground moves.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, it's pretty hard to beat that, in my opinion. Wind blockers. Yeah. Hurricanes and tornadoes are a concern along the southern coastal states. Sadly, too many people wait to the last minute to prepare, and then thousands end up suffering the consequences. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did anybody also feel that maybe tornado alleys moved? Like here in Kansas, we don't get anywhere near the tornadoes we used to. Right. But we don't. Would you agree? I mean, it's not like it used to be. I mean, we still get a couple a year or whatever that'll come in this area, but it's really not like it used to be. Climate change is not anthropogenic. Humans are only responsible for 1% of the climate on Earth. The sun's responsible for 99%. I think I'm in that camp. Let me see if oops. Oh, I should not have done that.
Would you click?
I hit that arrow and it went all the way. Oh, I wasn't too far. Cool. The more I look at straw bale construction with Adobe finish, the more I like it for our value and sustainability. Amy, and I agree with you, except the one thing that I'm concerned about with that is moisture. If moisture gets into that bale of straw,
eek.
Right? I mean, that's the thing that's always, and maybe I'm just uneducated on it, which would be fair. But anyway, Sweet Savior Word says the 4 horsemen are riding. There might be some truth in that too. Yeah, that's scary. Built my last home with 2x6 walls with spray foam insulation. Made it 5 days after Hurricane Ida before it started getting hot inside. I don't understand that. So started getting hot, you just mean from like the temperature, or you mean something with the foam? Because it shouldn't, once it's hardened, it shouldn't do anything. It's probably just the temperature. Mandy Garrett, check with the concrete supplier. They can make different PSA concrete. Some with rebar may make a 3-inch pad as strong as a 6-inch pad of a lower PSI mix. This is true. Yeah, we used 4,000 PSI concrete on everything we did.
And fiberglass.
And fiberglass reinforced and rebar. And everything we did, just to make it as strong as I could make it. But I mean, Hippocrates has a great point there, depending on how you mix it. 60 inches even down south would be extremely smart. Yeah, I think I'm going to move to the 60-inch model. It's only one more foot, right? They're talking about burying a water line. You know, I'm 48 now, so everyone should be making foam board window blockers to block heat. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yep, I'm with B. I don't like the foam. Yeah, B. She nixed that. How do you say that? You use Pig Latin. You say something. Next day. What do you say? You have some saying you use. Ixay. I don't remember. Anyways, you have some.
Ixnay? That's just.
I don't remember how you say it, but. Okay, let me see here. Even more important is what Special Observer is saying, as it will help you refine your building projects. When you know what's happening, it helps you focus. Totally agree. I actually suffered through watching the 2 hours of the COP27 Egypt 2022 last night, YouTube, and it will blow your mind. We're always looking for something.
Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is. You can write it down. We're always looking for, other things to do. Sweet Savior Word says insane heat coming this summer. Yeah, I'm worried about that, actually. What about renovations and repair? If you have to dig into one of those foamed walls, I've heard stories of attics foamed and on resale. It's a huge issue. Yeah. Huh. I still think
they don't like them.
I still think I would have loved to have done it. But again, the off-gassing, that's, not good, right?
Oh, Ixnay in the Udbay.
You remember that?
That's probably.
What does that mean?
Just nix it in the bud.
Oh. Yeah, one more rock. COP27 is insane.
One more rock?
Yep. Closed cell foam will reinforce the wall. See, Rick, this is what I like about it, is it glues everything together. It makes it just super, super strong. But again, B1. Straps from the top plate all the way down to the pad or soil anchors. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't use straps that ran the whole length. What he's talking about is run a strap all the way from the truss, basically, from the top plate of the truss all the way down to the ground.
Wall. Mm-hmm. What if you can ground
your
house
more buff
like
building
that?
Will be a blessing. Yeah, it will be. Don't put rebar in your concrete. EV, why do you say don't put rebar in your concrete? Blah, blah, blah.
Rebar in your burger.
Yes, Tornado Alley has moved further east. Yeah, I think so too. I have sprayed foam in the attic of my homestead and one of my rentals, only 10-degree different or less in attic and living space, 40% reduction in power cost. I love that. Yeah. Let me see. Make sure you tie your house to the sill plate foundation. Let me see here. Hippocrates says because of the solar. This is interesting. So Evie, we're talking about why not to put rebar in. Because of the solar flare, big ones, and micronova. I don't even know what that is.
YouTube playlist.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Alabama has been in Tornado Alley for 60 years, says RN. To me, it just seems like we get a whole lot less of them where I'm at.
Yeah, there's a lot more in Oklahoma, right? Have they always been bad in Oklahoma?
As long as I know. Hippocrates says, I understand the insulative and moisture barrier qualities. Just curious about those that might resale if, say, the HUD or whoever won't cover. Yeah, I don't know. I've had incredible winds that took out my hoop house and trees, so I spent all last summer building my greenhouse, and it has stood solid so far. All the guys watch this crazy lady impressed now. Yeah, I love that. All right, try to do this without losing it. Evie, would more metal not make more of a Faraday cage? It'd be protective. Yes, that makes some sense to me. Ixnay on the yeah. Read yeah. That's for you. She says Ixnay on the foam. Omfe. Yep. If anyone can add more insulation in their attic, do it. Yeah. Ixnay on the Omfe, says Amy B. Oh my gosh. You guys are going to start talking in this and I'm not going to be able to follow. Open cell in the attic so it can breathe, says Half Bubble Off Plum. Everything is a balance, pros and cons. Yep. We won't build without foam, everything. We won't build without foam, everything off gases. Yeah. No B, Cop 27, okay. One more rock with the person in the chat. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you need to run. Great talk tonight. Potpourri for Life. I'll talk to you here in a few days.
Does everything off gas? Does the foam insulation or does the fiberglass insulation off gas?
Probably. Formaldehyde.
No, is it formaldehyde?
No, it's formaldehyde free, or at least that's what they say. According to Ben, from the Suspicious Observers, metal attracts electrical discharges from earth and sun. Metal melts. Use plastic totes. Put metal tools in sand in a plastic tote. The electrical discharges won't go through plastic as easy as metal. The EF5 tornado that hit Alabama in 2011 snapped concrete 18 inches and 24-inch power poles like 18. I'm assuming he's saying 18 to 24 feet power poles like toothpicks. MEB says, Half Bubble Plum, did you spray between the rafters by sheathing or between trusses by the ceiling of the room below? Yep, I've done it both ways. I've sprayed the roof up at the top of the trusses and then put in the drywall and blew in insulation on top of that. But again, she didn't want to do it, so we didn't do it this time. Plastic totes are easier to get and cheaper than Faraday cages. Yeah, but I don't think that'd have the same effect because the pulses from, well, particularly an EMP, right? The E1, the E2, and the E3. The E3 will radiate, go right through the plastic.
And then the sand also, it will go through.
You'll shoot the sand as well. Mm-hmm. That's not going to stop it. So, I mean, I think maybe from I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll have to do some checking on that because a CME is not the same as an EMP, and so it's really like just the E2 of the EMP, at least from what I've understood. So, but the E3 would go right through a plastic tote. Older houses, the insulation slips and slides down into the bottom 2 feet of your wall. Old houses are a nightmare to warm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New Day Farm says the government is off-gassing us already. Yeah. Amy B sprayed the underneath side of the roof decking. Yeah. Let me see. RN power poles have lines attached. Could be the lines or strong enough to pull the poles to and combined with the wind and toothpicks. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Plastic is an insulator, metal is a conductor. It may resonate depending on the wavelength. Remember, airplanes, aluminum can be hit with lightning with no damage to those inside. Right. All this tornado talk, I'm thinking I need to build a wine cellar. Yeah. Nope. Tag. Plastic is an insulator. That's why wire's covered. Okay, Evie, hold on a second though. Here, I have to disagree. I've got a very, very good friend of mine who has a double PhD one in physics and one in electrical engineering, who focuses on EMP. And you put your computer in a plastic tote, and that thing gets hit with 50,000 volts per square meter, which is the military standard in military standard 188-125-1. That 50,000 volts per square meter coming through again on the E3 is going to go right through that plastic. It's going to go right through it. At least everything that I've read would say that. Copper stops radiation. That is what is used in microwaves. Yeah. In 2015, there was a deadly F4 tornado in Dallas, Texas area the day after Christmas. Yeah, we had an F5 here many years ago, 15 years ago, that took out a whole town.
Was that Joplin?
No.
Or Greensboro?
Greensboro, yeah.
Greensboro.
And then they rebuilt it. Totally rebuilt it, all green, yeah. Use rubber on external walls and roofs for a vapor and CME barrier. Yep. I'm interested to EV to hear back, because everything that I have read and what I have talked about says that you have to have a Faraday cage or some way to shunt or to deal with the over voltage, or the E3 is just going to come right through the walls of your house, come right through a plastic tote and all that stuff. What will cardboard what will cardboard shield in a plastic tote? Yeah, I don't think it's going to shield much, especially anything like that. I mean, it is an insulator, and what Evie's saying there is right, that it's an insulator, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. The truth is, you put it in a tote, it's a pretty small footprint anyway, so it probably wouldn't induce a lot of electricity. But as a longtime ham radio operator, decent amount of work building basic antennas. Plastic is invisible to radiation. Metal deflects or blocks radiation. Yeah, there were 12 tornadoes that day in December. Yeah, we survived the F4 in Dallas in 2015. That was a scary day. Mm-hmm. The F4 is a big one. The electrical discharges in our near future will be vastly different than what we normally experience. Yeah, I'm going to have to go check out Suspicious Observers, because there have been a lot of you guys that have said this. Yeah, Visible Light's about it. Great talking to you all. We will see you Monday night at 7. Yep, Tabletop, good night.
Yep, they have a live at 7 on Mondays.
Tag, can you get your Brainiac friend to talk about the best practices for CME and EMP? Yeah, I absolutely could. But I'll tell you, sweet savory words, I'm very up to speed on this. This is something I have had a lot of meetings about and a lot of conversations about. And I'm going to ask him about the plastic tote just so that I'm 100% sure. But I mean, if you guys wanted to know, I mean, I could talk about a EMP pretty easy. I mean, I'm, pretty, like I said, pretty up to speed on it. But I could probably get him to come on. He's a little weird. He's from Bulgaria. So kind of comes across like a Russian, KGB guy. But anyway, if you guys are interested in talking about EMP, I'd be happy to talk about it with you too. So how was the fire, by the way?
It was almost out.
Was it? Did you get it all going again?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Super cool. Yeah, it is getting late. What time is it?
9:37.
Yeah, it's 9:30. Okay, so the electrical discharges coming will be the type that made the Grand Canyon and the scar on Mars. Those are not the same as what we've had. I'm not talking EMP. This is different. Okay, well, I'll be interested to hear or to learn about that. I'll follow some of them links and do that. So I will, Evie. I will go look at that. Because again, this is something this is a topic that I'm pretty up to speed with in reference to CME, EMP, and those kind of things. But I'll do some reading about it. Those are not the same. Okay, I'm sorry. Will chicken fence work as a Faraday cage? Not really. So here's the thing is that like in a Faraday cage, what you really want to be in is, I'm gonna give you an example, like a metal trash can, it's solid metal. And then what you do is, like line it with, foam or cardboard or something so that what you're putting in it isn't touching the metal. And then even better, if you want to do a step further, ground it, which, will give it somewhere to go, is really the best kind of Faraday cages. Now, I have been in places that use copper mesh, but that's really small. It's like a 1 inch by 1 inch copper mesh, and they'll line an entire room with it, and then they'll ground it in several different spots. That'll work pretty good. Sweets Every Word says, okay, Tag, does an EMP or CMA affect our wiring in our hearts and our brains? This is an interesting question. I can tell you that the military, and this is really what I know the most about, is this part. So they have a bunch of standards, like I mentioned earlier, 188, 125, 1, 464 Golf, 460, I think it's 6 Charlie, RS 105. These kinds of standards never make a single reference to that. But what's interesting to me is in those standards, like if you were going to pass the military standard for an EMP, it would say that you would have to be able to shield 50,000 volts per square meter induced into, your computer or your TV or whatever it is. It's hard for me to believe that 50,000 volts per square meter would have no impact on the human body, right? I mean, that's a significant amount of power. Now, they say, though, that you won't feel it, you won't see it. That's what they say. Now, obviously, I've never lived in a, in an EMP, but based upon the military standards, that's what it is. But what's interesting is China and Russia and some of these other countries actually now have super EMPs, which could induce up to 200,000 volts per square meter. So I don't know the answer, Sweet Every Word, but I'm going to make a deal. I'm going to call my doctor buddy, and I'm going to ask him that. He did a lot of his studies in EMF and some of those fields. So I'll ask him that question for you. Easy says, night all, be safe. Yep, good night. Let me see. My chickens say no, the fence weave is too wide. Yep. Let me see. Good night, Tag and B. Got to go to bed. Good night, Steve. Would a freezer work as a Faraday cage? Yes, it actually would, except the one thing that hurts it is the rubber gasket. You know how when you close the lid down, there's a rubber gasket in there. So there's a couple things you could do to that, right? You could get some actual metal tape and tape that whole seam up, which would help it. You could get rid of the gasket in there. But here's the thing, that gasket's pretty small. So the effects of an EMP or something like that would have more to do with the latitude and the longitude in which it went, the angle that the EMP was to where you were, but also there's other things like, is it on pavement? Is it on gravel? I mean, there's a lot of different things that impact this. So the short answer is it would work pretty well, but it would not offer you 100% protection. Sweet Savior Words, EMP, no. In our brains, CME, yes. The electrical discharge coming will take out those with pacemakers. Now, the pacemaker, that would be true, right? And actually a CME, so you guys know an EMP has 3 phases to it, right? An E1, an E2, and an E3. And a CME, I believe, is just the E2. So it's not, I think it's the E2, might be the E1. But it's just one of those. It's not all of them. But so, yeah, it could absolutely take out a pacemaker. But understand, a pacemaker is pretty small. And so because of that, its ability to induce electricity is pretty minor. Sounds like that kind of EMP you would turn into ashes. Yeah, I don't know if you would or not. I mean, it's not, I don't know. I mean, they say you wouldn't. I mean, all the experts, and guys, I've had conversations with people like Dr. Bill Radowski, who was on the EMP commission, right? I mean, people who have studied this, their whole life, and they say you won't feel it, but it just, I don't think it would burn you, but I think that just to say it would have no impact would be just hard to believe. And if you have a pacemaker or an implanted hearing aids, how would they be impacted? Again, what you got to remember, guys, is that when this electricity is coming down, it's collecting. So like in like the electrical lines, that's why the grid is in such jeopardy, because what will happen is all those electrons that are coming down, right, is that, so let me back up. So the E3 of an EMP is basically when that nuclear bomb goes off in the atmosphere, the magnetosphere, right, stretches. And when it snaps back, it'll go like this. And it's that wave of electrons, right? And they say that the military at least says that can go on for hours or days. So that wave after wave after wave, it'd be pretty hard for anything electronic to withstand that type of electricity, but I don't believe it would cook you. Amelia says, and if you have I'm sorry, I read that one. My brain is going to the movie Men Who Stare at Goats comedy with George Clooney. Actually, we were just talking about that the other day. Evie, what can a person do with a pacemaker for protection? Is underground EMP safe? Yes. I think, how far underground will matter, right? Because how far can those electrons travel? But everything you offer, I mean, if you're underground under, a little bit of dirt and some concrete, all of those are going to take away some of that stuff, right? And so I think, if you had something, a computer or whatever in a basement, it's certainly a whole lot safer than it would be, just outside. The discharges coming will melt metal. It will melt Faraday cages and explode concrete that has rebar in it. That's why the ancient people did not use metal in construction. Interesting. Pacemaker small, but there are the wire leads that could act as antennas. Yeah, right. Length compared to RF frequency. Yeah, so what Hippocrates is talking about is 100% true. So, just like the grid, that's why it's so vulnerable, because there's miles and miles and miles and miles of antennas to collect all that stuff. If you have a computer or your phone, most EMP experts that I know, guys, and I know a whole bunch of them, will tell you your cell phone will be just fine. It's too small to induce too much power. Now, if you got your charger plugged into it and it's plugged into the wall and an EMP hits, it's going to get fried, because it's going to be able to pull all that electricity right down through basically the antenna. Preps are good, but God's in charge. We all need to be ready to depart this earth. I agree with that. We are like 65% water. Water conducts the electrical current. How can we be safe? I would think it would be like getting hit with lightning. Yeah, I don't think it's that concentrated. So let's talk about lightning. Did you know that a large lightning bolt can be 1 billion volts of electricity? 1 billion. Right? When we're talking about the military standard, it talks about 50,000 volts per square meter, right? That lightning bolt, that point could be 1 billion volts of electricity. So it's not really comparing, even the biggest EMPs out there, it's not comparing to a good lightning bolt. The solar flare, big CME, will come long before the electrical event I'm talking about, which is different than an EMP and CME. Yeah, I need to do some research on that. Oh, great. Now I have to wonder if the tooth fillings I got when I was a kid's going to explode. If you were close enough to be affected by the radiation. Yeah, so everything that I've heard, Joint Hair, about the radiation effects from an EMP is we wouldn't get any. If done correctly. And in fact, what's interesting is I live at ground zero. They say that, 300 miles in the atmosphere directly above Kansas, the center of the United States, if they were to light off an EMP, it would affect southern Canada, northern Mexico, and all of the United States. And the EMP Commission reported that in the event of an EMP, that 90% of the population would be dead within the first year, but not because of the EMP and not because of radiation. It'd be because things wouldn't run and generators wouldn't work and nobody would be getting insulin and you'd have no supply lines and water wouldn't pump and sewer wouldn't pump, and it'd be those types of issues. If you were close enough to, okay, I did that one already. Let me see. If we could capture and contain lightning, our energy needs would be met. Well, I 100% agree. How amazing would that be, Sweet Savory Words, if we could collect
energy from
a lightning bolt? Yeah, that'd be amazing. I've done a fair amount of study into EMP, CME, and those kind of things, and it's a scary deal. I'm telling you, our enemies have it. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there's a North Korean satellite that flies over the United States every 90 minutes, and we don't. I know, right? We don't do a lot about it, but dude, they're the little dog.
Yeah.
China, Russia, all of these places, they all have those kinds of things, that could do us harm. And so I would absolutely prepare for them. I put, 8 EMP shields on my house, and I did it more for lightning than I did for any other reason. But I think anything you can do would be, super helpful. Words, didn't Benjamin Franklin try that?
Sweet and savory words.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out. We're like,
to capture the thunderstorm.
Oh, lightning bolt. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, didn't he fly a key? B, what was that look? What was that look, B?
I don't know.
Let me see. Little Kim playing mind games with us, laugh out loud. Yeah. And there's no telling whether or not it's nuclear equipped or not, but I would not think it'd be very hard to do that. And the fact of the matter, an EMP doesn't take a super sophisticated, nuke to be able to do it. I guess I'd be in good shape not using hydro and pumps for water and power for the cabin. Yeah, you'd be ahead of all of us. Hey, American Roots, how are you? Yeah, good to see you. I hope all is well. I think about you every day. Amy B says, has anyone tried building an earth battery? I have not tried it, but I would love to. That's something I'm super interested in. Let me see. Tag, how often do your solar panels idle after the batteries are full? I know mine waste more than we use. I have way more panels than storage. Yeah, we have way too much too.
But idle?
Yeah, what it means is when the panels are no longer giving you any usable energy, right? Batteries are full, right? So my system, once my batteries are full, the power comes into the house and we use it first before we use the batteries. But yeah, it produces more than I can use most of the time. That's the trick to electricity. You can't store it on a large scale. Yeah. And battery technology's come a long, long way, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be. EV, I'm a pureblood, haven't found a dentist yet that's close enough who will take me unless I get that what. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stand your ground. There are dentists out there that'll do it. BC's a dentist where we live that don't care. And they're out there. You just, maybe you have to drive a little bit further, but
oh yeah, the new dentist wants to take the silver out.
Right.
That he specializes in that.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I think at the end of the day, Steel Roz, that they're going to try to make it more and more inconvenient for us to be free. Right. And you'll drive further, cost more, etc. Sweet David Word says, I've always considered capturing lightning. I imagine a spider web type of grid that transfer the main strike current out until an investor can be used to transfer the energy into a battery. Yeah, I would think it would be so much energy so quick. Even though in reference to like an EMP, lightning is actually pretty slow, but in our life it's super fast. But I think it'd be just how quick could you get it, and could you have technology that could use it that quick? Don't do the what, it ain't what they say it is. Don't do right. Same here. There's other ways to store that energy cheaply. Batteries produces, not store. EV, South Central Texas, about 1,000 miles away. Yeah, my dentist won't see people with the pokey. Oh, Rick, good for you.
Huh.
Those are the people we need to be promoting. And Rick, if you don't mind telling people where you live or what state you're in or how they can contact you, that would be interesting. Yeah, keep looking. I agree. I'm having dental work done at the VA and they do nasal swab every time I visit. Yeah, you won't. I won't go into a VA hospital. I'm a veteran and could, but
one of the girls we saw this weekend said she wasn't feeling good, and she had called her doctor, and she said, can I come in and see you? And they said yes, and then they called her back and said, well, we'd have to do a test, and she said, never mind, I'll fix it myself.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Okay, so yeah, I knew where you were, but Rick, I just didn't want to say it if you weren't willing. So Rick's in northern Utah. So if anybody's up in northern Utah, there's a dentist there.
I don't.
Yep, pure blood all the way. Yep. Yeah, I think that this whole vaccine thing, they're finding out more and more about it. And it don't look like it's too rosy. You see, my dentist would take me, but does not take my Medicaid insurance. Don't have the money for the new crowns I need. My dentist is L. DeWeiss on North Lombard here in Portland. Hey, Rick, I'm in Clearfield. Pretty cool. There's someone close. I'm just learning again about using dump loads to store more solar power when there's excess. Yeah,
loads.
Yeah, I am not up to speed on that, but I would love to know more about that. I mean, I've always just figured that I got to buy more batteries and eventually get a battery bank big enough that can take all the power. But if there's another way, I'm interested. Rhonda says, I'm in central Alabama and I have not had a dentist ask if I've been poked.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. Yeah. I've asked about changing old amalgam fillings out. I don't know what that is, but
That's the silver fillings.
okay. Mine are over 40 years old. The mercury is only a problem when installed or removed per my dentist. So don't touch it, in other words. See if there's a dental school in your state. Oh, that's a good one. I'm thinking about going to hydropower. Do you know if a 10,000 watt generator would furnish my whole house? Well, Toby, I don't know anything about your house, bud, but I can tell you this: that 10,000 watts generator would power my house every month, but probably 2, right? Because the challenge with that is there's a couple of really hot months where you're running the air conditioner full blower, those kind of things, I would get up to 12 or 14,000 in the peak of the summer, but for 10 months out of the years, it would run my house just fine. And I live in a big house, Still, Ross says, after 20 years in the Army, served in the Korean War, the VA treated my father like he was garbage. Yeah, they killed my dad. So, in my opinion. And so I don't go there either. Now, wait a second. I want to say something, though, real quick before we get too far on this. Guys, there are wonderful people in the VA. There are nurses who give a shit. There are doctors that give a shit. But the organization itself is crap, in my opinion.
Well, their policy is awful.
Yeah. Mandy said, should I be worried about the metal silver fillings in my teeth? I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, like I said, her dentist is trying to take them out every time he can. But
well, the dentist that I was seeing before didn't think it was a big deal. And I asked if he could remove them, and he wasn't too, he wasn't like jumping on the opportunity. But the new guy says that he believes that they do cause an effect in your health. And so he would recommend that they be removed. So I guess it's, your own, what is that? Your own, you do your own research and make your own decisions, just like spray foam.
Yeah. Big Kid says, yeah, I'm learning there are other ways to supplement the battery bank. And then Hippocrates says probably the easiest dump load is when triggered, used to heat or preheat water instead of or in front of your home water heater. Yeah, see, I love this idea. What can we do with that excess energy? Because there's energy just being dumped, right?
Yeah, because there's days where you're like, we're dumping. If you want to do laundry,
do everything.
Do whatever
do it right
you
now.
want to do.
Yep. Mercury fillings outgas forever, says Evie.
Forever.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
I have one in my mouth from when I was a young man. You got a bunch?
I have several.
I think the concern about dental filling amalgam is some mixtures had mercury. Yeah. My metal fillings received the local hip hop radio station. Keeps my wife up all the time.
Yeah.
Big Kid says we're heating our hot water that way. And I'd be interested in what else you could do, because you heat the hot water, that's fine, but then you don't have the load, it gets cold, right? Where else could I send it?
How to store it, or just
because you're not storing hot water. It's going to cool off, right? I mean, what other uses?
You just use it.
Yeah.
Take that opportunity to weld some of the fence.
Right. Here in California, where I go, is a bad VA facility. I tried to get to go to a naturopath, and they said they don't have any doctors to refer to as naturopaths, only what's that word? Allopathic medicine. RN says, good night, everybody. Enjoyed the chat. Y'all have a blessed night. Good night, RN. How can we tell if our silver fillings have mercury? I have no idea. Anybody have any idea?
They all did.
I don't think they all do. I think some of them did. It stays hot for days, tag. Oh, interesting. What do you store it in? So once you heat the water, what's it stored in? Yes, the alarm went off on my sweet potatoes. Of course, I heat it a little hot. Yep, use that excess. to run your extra large freeze dryers. The problem with that, though, Hippocrates, is once I start a cycle on the freeze dryer, I can't stop it, from what I understand.
Yeah, for sometimes like 48 hours.
Yeah. I can't run big power overnight. Right? We can run a TV, we can run lights, we can run all of those things, but unless I'm willing to dump another, $30,000 in batteries, which maybe that's the answer, I don't think I can run that through the evening every single night. So it's finding some way to deal with the extra power.
Yeah.
Eagle Lover says, I don't know what you are running for 48 hours. Well, we don't own one, Eagle. So, but when we called to ask about, could you stop a cycle in that, they said that some things you would run for 48 hours.
Well, we were just asking people we know who run them.
Yeah, we've never had one, though. We heat it to about 160, and the 50-gallon tank lasts my daughter 1 to 3 days. Well, what kind of tank is it, big kid? Is it an insulated tank? I mean, how do you keep it warm once the power stops? I'm sure if there is a possibility my silver fillings have mercury, they have mercury. Ugh. Yeah. I think they started changing over from mercury in the 70s. I know I used to have a mouthful of it. God. How many more sweet potatoes do you have? Yep. Okay. Here's a great person to answer this question right here. So LJC says, I had my mercury fillings all removed and had more issues afterwards because the new composite fillings cracked my teeth. They have to be removed, move them whole. So they have to make a bigger hole. We have one, and that is correct, says American Roots.
That you cannot stop it, the cycle.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I just can't power one through the night. Big Kid said standard household tank with a 48-volt 1,000-watt element. Yeah, so your regular old household tank stays hot for 3 or 4 or 5 days with no power to it.
Wow. Yeah,
it's got to have some
old
power.
House would get cold in that day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If the heat wasn't going on it, it would go cold that day.
Yeah. Yeah, American Roots is talking about the freeze dryer.
Then we wrapped it with that stuff, and it still would. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so I could see keeping, if you got the right insulated tank, you did the right layers of being able to keep it warm longer.
It wouldn't just be a standard tank then.
I don't think so, but anyway, Rick, yeah. All right, guys, we're 3 hours, so it is time for us to call it a night. Hey, kind of on the party note, don't forget to check out the Next Step convention. That conference down there, I think, is really, really important. And, we're going to go down there, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, we got live will be the next Friday. I've got 2 interviews coming up this week, right? What do you got? What are you working on? You get your chapstick video out one of these days?
I got all the stuff, and I had meant to, but just I had company and stuff happened, and
yeah.
You know how it goes.
I know exactly how it goes. I'm going to get back to work, keep doing my thing. We'll see you guys on Friday. I'll try to get a video out this week. I know I'll get at least one out with the interviews, but we'll just kind of see how it goes. I hope to see everybody at the Midwest Preparedness Festival at the end of April, at the Next Step convention in February. Yep. And I guess until we do it again, let me see. Great. Can I post it to my new channel on Freesteading? Yeah, I guess as soon as I post a video, I'll get on Freesteading and all that. I just haven't posted a video, any of that stuff yet. Yeah. So other than that, anything else you want to say?
No. I was just reading
yeah,
all the quick comments that come in.
Yeah, they're fast. That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. LJC says there is a concern that mercury over time expands and causes micro cracks in the teeth and leads to the need for crowns because of a weakened tooth. Ugh.
Somebody earlier said tooth drilled out can break off. Get too much of your tooth drilled out and it will break off.
Yep. Amy B says rising tide lifts all boats. I agree 100% with that. Yeah, guys, I think my parting words to you guys is, we got to take responsibility for our actions, for everything that happens to us and our beliefs. And if we do that, we're going to be okay. And, our community is strong, guys, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And And I'm just lucky and fortunate to be part of it with you guys. And, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and all the birthday wishes for my bride. Guys, I can't tell you how it made her day, and how she was smiling when just message after message after message was coming in, wishing her a happy birthday. And
I didn't even know about it. So
yeah.
it was a surprise.
It was a surprise. Yep. And final note, guys, our differences make us stronger. We don't all have to agree on everything, and it's okay. And we're going to learn together. I'm on my journey trying to learn, and I'm, thankful you guys are with me to help me learn, and I learn from you guys. And so I guess till we do it again, hold the line, don't give an inch, tag and be out, and we'll see you on the next one.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.